just wanna chill around positive vibes. Nothing negative, it would fuck up my vibe and blowing my heart. I just wanna sit back and chill and just sip wine. I came from a dark place, now I'm living in life.
I am intentional, I am abundant. I bring to existence all that I want, and I done tapped into the God in me. Cut my locks off and switched up the vibe in me. Like how I manifest within, how I choose to defend. Who I label my friends, how I make amends. Cause I'm choosing laughter, it's peace that I'm after. I abracadabra, then poof, chakras blast off. My soul take this cast off, projection surpass all. Obsidian protection in case this trip lasts long. I see with 3 eyes, that's why my crown headstrong. Corona is viral to spirits living dead wrong
I just
vibration.
wanna chill around positive vibes. Nothing negative, it would fuck up my vibe. I just wanna sit back and chill and just sip wine. I came from a dark place, now I'm living in life. Came from a dark place, yeah, now I'm doing with the light. Yeah, now I'm like making moves. Yeah, I be always on the flights. Yeah, I be on a mission for the bank nowadays. Why these niggas hating on a nigga nowadays? I've been on a mission with the light nowadays. I ain't fucking with the darkness nowadays.
Peace and grace. Thank you for shining and rising. Chakra DJ here to tell you of a summer fun gathering known as High Soul Gathering. It begins the final Friday of May and continues each month until August. It's held in the beautiful green sceneries of Tabernacle, New Jersey. It's a 3-day camping experience which includes workshops, fun activities, vendors, and of course, the high vibrational blends of Chakra DJ. You can either stay the full weekend or spend the day with us. We promote self-care and common unity. It's a unique experience for you and the family. Tickets and information are available on Eventbrite under High Soul, Summer 2022. Look us up.
Finding quality R&B music in the current market is like finding a needle in a haystack. So what do you do if you're an R&B fan looking for something new to get your teeth into? You get frustrated by the choice, get disappointed by the talent, get bored of the same old. Solution, introducing Young Bae's True American album. Visit thebaemusic.com. That's the solution.
All these teardrops are alone.
Visit thebaemusic.com.
I'm back in love again. Don't change like get another grand. I see grand horizon.
Hey guys, I want to make a toast. Here's to those who wish us well, and those who don't can go to hell.
I am happiness, my energy contagious. I'm a champion, take it and embrace it. I am another queen in the making. I am here to succeed with determination. I have a positive ambiance. I am so grateful, so gracias. I am the one I can call upon. I am my own. I am intentional. I am the standard. I am the original. I am the man. I am the purpose of my existence. I am the ultimate explanation. I am intentional. I am the standard. I am the original. I am the man. I am the purpose of my existence. Peace, y'all. Welcome to Virgo Virgin Talk with your sis, Sunshine Monet L. Today we have
Danielle will not be in with us today, or maybe she'll be checking in with us later. Let's cross our fingers and bring those vibes. She's on a road trip right now, so peace and safe and traveling mercy to her during this Saturday morning. Today's episode, we talking about Lilith, y'all. So go ahead and get your natal charts. Get yourself together. We have a wonderful guest that's gonna come on. We're gonna interview her. She has her own podcast that y'all definitely gotta check out. I'll let her introduce herself and everything else she's doing. So I'll give y'all some time to get y'all natal chart and get y'all tea. In the meantime, y'all can just listen to me talk for a second, because we're gonna talk about where the planets are doing today and what they have been doing the past couple days. And if you don't know, y'all need to check in with me every Monday at 3:33 for our planetary forecast. All right. So y'all already know yesterday was popping in the cosmos. We had a whole planetary parade, right? We had Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. We had a whole episode about that. Y'all know how I feel. It started from the southeast horizon, starting at Mercury. And we had like a whole lineup of the planets. Yesterday was also UFO Day, if you guys were in Burlington City. Shouts to Posh Pit on 236 High Street. Thank you for bringing me and my baby out and showering us with love. But it was a great day. And just for y'all who didn't know, June 24th is actually the first day this country had a UFO encounter. Did not know that. Thank you for the information, goddesses of the Posh Pit. In addition to that, July 2nd is the first Roswell encounter. So if you guys want to go look up in the cosmos on July 2nd, I'm kind of excited about that. You guys will hear about that on Monday. In addition to that, yesterday, Lilith entered the 11th house, actually. So Lilith was making its moves yesterday. Lilith is currently in Gemini in the 11th house. We're actually a mutable energy of Gemini. And I know a few people came to me like, what do you mean when you're putting like these energies in cardinal, fixated, and mutable? Well, every zodiac is 30 degrees, right? So the first 10 degrees of a zodiac is the cardinal energy of that zodiac. That 10 to 20 degree area, 11 to 20 degree area, that is the fixated energy of that zodiac. And then the last 10 degrees is that mutable energy of that zodiac. So that's where you're getting that information from. I do know what's actually naturally mutable, fixated, and cardinal. It's what degree are you at in that constellation that we're concentrating on right now. And because Lilith is at 24 degrees, Lilith is sitting in that mutable Gemini energy. So you guys, first of all, y'all clingy as shit. I've been watching y'all on Facebook. I've been watching y'all on Instagram. Everybody is looking for love right now. Everybody is speaking into existence their love right now. And then that 11th house is like your humanitarian pursuits. Okay, so whatever love that you come into in this space is going to be a love that's going to go towards the community. So whether you find that partner and both of y'all build a tribe or build some type of community service together or something, or it's not just romantics. So if you guys' mind is just set on the romantics, it's not always about that. Sometimes it's just about finding your sister tribe and doing really dope shit. Like yesterday, I was sitting with some Slavic goddesses. These women were, they practiced paganism and druidism. They were owners of the Posh Pit store. It was so dope to be in their energy. And, we were talking about this Roe versus Wade thing. The fact that even happened when Lilith was entering the 11th house is beyond me. But we were talking about it, and we were just communicating about our kids in school, all the reasons why, we should be allowed to do what we want to do with our bodies. The Lilith in us was triggered. You hear me? Triggering the Lilith all over the world. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. If you know the story of Lilith, if you know the history behind Lilith, what she represents, what that energy is, you ruffled a lot of Lilith feathers yesterday. And just know, for every energy, there is an equal opposite energy, okay? The equal opposite energy is coming. But we have trust and faith in ourselves and in our Lilith placements. So, these energies will not prevail. You understand? Ashe. I won't get into much detail because you already know how these algorithms work out here, but y'all hear me. Y'all hear what I don't say. Just like me and these goddesses when we were sitting around talking to each other about creating our own safe spaces for our children and our own safe spaces for each other and ourselves. Because being in that area, we realized, oh, we kind of stick out like a sore thumb. You know, you have this horror store and these, you know, people walking past like, is this demonic? It might be, or but you know, just knowing that we need more safe spaces for ourselves and each other. And it was very nice to be in a space where race was not even a topic of discussion. You know what I mean? It's a circle of goddesses. We're talking about our practices. We're talking about our different forms of practices. We're talking about, you know, us being women. We're talking about, you know, what we're doing for our children, things like that. And it was really like a uniting conversation, very uniting conversation. I appreciated it. I appreciated that planetary parade aligning me with these individuals that I aligned with yesterday. I appreciate Lilith going in that 11th house and doing what it do. Actually, this past week was really popping in the cosmos. I'll get into it in a second so my mouse do what I want it to do. We had Venus and Pleiades was doing a waltz together. Pleiades is like that constellation and Taurus energy that focuses on your wounds, how you heal from your wounds, the kind of wounds you're going to receive, and is definitely in that Taurus constellation. So we had a lot of energy sitting in our Taurus constellation because we also had Mercury hanging out with Aldebaran, which is the eye of Taurus, which is the brightest, bluest star in the Taurus constellation. So definitely being in the eye of your pentacles, being in the eye of your self-esteem, your pleasure-seeking sensors, all of that. If you were tapped in, you were aligned. I see a lot of you guys speaking in existence, the kind of love you want. What you see as far as your community goes, that universal love you have intentions on giving out to other people. All of that is beautiful. All of that is in alignment. Where are my comments? Okay, here we go. So Venus was on the forefront of everyone's mind this week. Venus was on the forefront of the cosmos this week. Everything was sitting in love and love, light, and self-esteem. So for today in particular, today's June 25th, right? If you guys are on the East Coast, because I'm in Jersey, if you guys need an astrologer in your area, it's best to look up astrologer in your area, astronomer in your area, so you know exactly what time planets transit and stuff like that in your personal space. But for today in the East Coast area, in this zone, we have the waning crescent moon at 9% today. The waning crescent moon is the moon of cleansing. This is a good time to rest, nurture, reset yourself, reset your intentions. I started that procrastination book, y'all. It's very good. I'm halfway done and I've been getting shit done. Okay. Yeah, I procrastinate a little bit more, especially with that artist bio, but I'm getting better. Okay. The moon will rise at 3:01 a.m. and it'll be setting at 5:45 p.m. The moon is still in Taurus. Again, still giving us that love, Venus energy, self-esteem, you know, pinnacles. Don't just focus on having this partner and stuff. And a lot of you guys have been manifesting some shallow shit, but it's cool because you're gonna get what you asked for. Good luck with it. But you know, talk about your pinnacles too. Talk about making yourself feel better, making yourself feel good. What are some things that you want to start doing for yourself? What are some self-love things? A lot of you guys have been talking about how you want someone else to make you feel, what you want someone else to do for you. What do you plan to do for yourself? What do you plan to do for your community? I've had some really good one-on-one conversations with individuals and talking to them because we have not only energy going into Taurus and Venus, but also Gemini. Gemini energy is about your community. It's about going outside and looking at your neighbors. And it is time to go out there and do that. The things we do on virtual reality is amazing. The fact that my voice and my knowledge and my love can go from here to the bedrooms of Paris, Africa, Jamaica, all that is amazing to me. At the same token, it's not doing me much good or my children much good because they're not even my friends on social media if I go outside and the same issues still exist. So we have to go outside. I go outside all the time. I set up my table. You know, it's to the point now where we have So I live in an area where there's shooters and drug dealers, just like everybody else that live in the hood. And during the super moon, me and my sister did this whole thing outside. We had frequencies playing. We were like, I made a honey jar for my intentions. And then I made a list of everything I wanted to let go. I had my little sisters. I have Pisces twin sisters. Actually, not to put my one sister on blast, but she feels like she is a boy, which I think is so dope because they are Pisces and they're twins. But I have my twins. I had my son. My other sister. We're both adults. We all went outside and we made like a little fire in the middle of the street. We live near like a little crossroads. We had a little fire there, and we burnt our intentions. So these guys that usually you see outside, like with guns on their pants and everything else, they're looking at us, and they're like, "Oh, they witches over there." So it's one night we were sitting on the porch and we saw the one guy walking, and instead of walking in front of our house, he crossed the street. And then we heard him talk, because the acoustics out here where we live out are amazing. I can hear people down the street, around the corner. He's talking to his friend. He's like, "Oh yeah, like down there, don't go over there. Those witches." So like we even have a space, like the people that like be doing the most don't bother us because they're afraid of us. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage, especially when it comes time to start speaking truth in life. Like me and my sister, we make a lot of jokes, but definitely going to use that to our advantage. But yeah, just all that to say, go out to your community. Let your community know that you exist, that you're here, that they do have a healer in their neighborhood, that they don't have to feel alone. I remember maybe a couple weeks ago, I had a couple healers outside with me, and we attracted a lot of attention, because we had the sage. My sis had her tarot cards out. My bro, he's a sound healer. He had his instruments. He was playing his sound healing music. We attracted a woman that was across the, like a diagonal from us. Because like I said, I live at a crossroad. I live on a corner. And she came across the street and she was like, "I just felt you guys positive vibes and I really liked it. And I wanted to come over here and talk to y'all. Talk to us." Didn't know she had a young child that had autism. Didn't know that she had a teenager around the same age as my son. Didn't know these things. But I would have never known these things had I not been going outside, had us and the healers not been going outside and making our presence be known. Hey, we are here. We are in the neighborhood. We exist. You have you have people like this out here now, and it really does attract people. Like now when I'm walking to and from work or whatever, like people recognize me. People are speaking to, "Hey, you got new crystals. Hey, what's the plane is doing today?" And at first they were making jokes. They were trying to belittle me and what I do, and it never bothered me because I don't care what you're talking about. I would still answer their questions and And now it got to the point where they're like, "Yo, she's serious." Like, and they really, converse with me. They really speak to me. They really show my son's love. Like when my oldest son come home, he'd be like, "Hey, such and such told me to tell you." He said, "Hey, like, I don't know who this guy is." Like, it's getting to that point. And that's because I made myself known in my community. It's time for you to make yourself known in your community. If you have any Gemini energy in your chart, anything in that fourth house, is it fourth house? No, it's your third house. Anything in your third house, tap into those energies and utilize those energies right now, because Lilith is in Gemini right now. So, I'm pretty sure those areas have been triggered in you anyway and been getting you going and stuff like that. You haven't even realized or recognized. But that's damn, I only got to the moon. Anyway, the moon is starting to ascend too. The node is it's at ascending node in the geocentric realm, where we think about Earth being the center, and also in the ecliptic latitude, where the sun's pathway through a celestial year or whatever. So the moon is kind of like right there on both spots at the same time. The latitude is at 0, and now it will be increasing. So now we're dealing with the moon rising instead of the moon descending, and that's fun. Also today, later on in this evening, the moon and Uranus will be at minimal angle at 7:29 p.m. They'll be in conjunction at 7:09 p.m. And we'll be able to observe that at 3:29 a.m. So you probably should have been able to observe it last night. I believe that I did. There were some beautiful bright stars last night. I'm definitely a fan and I enjoyed myself. And just to remind y'all, the moon and Uranus are both in Taurus energy. Uranus is the energy of progressiveness. It's what gets things going. It's like that, oh yeah, it's time to like get it going, do thug dizzle, whatever. So coming back to Lilith, Lilith is in Gemini energy. We're going to talk a little bit about Lilith today. We're going to talk about where Lilith is in your chart. I'm going to give you guys a moment to go on and grab your natal chart, and we're going to bring the guest on. I'm very excited about this. Hold on a second. My mouse is just like, yeah, whatever I want to do is what I'm going to do. I have some stories, some backstories about Lilith. Then I'm going to ask you some questions based upon where your Lilith is. So I got to move the mouse very slow. Slow, subtle movements. What is this about, though? I don't really understand. Okay, that's better. Maybe it was just like the surface it was sitting on, I think. I think it was the surface. So I'm going to go back to this commercial. For those of you guys, when I get that don't know, High Soul the Gathering does a monthly camping event. Cosmic Nobody's Convention has a live with the High Soul the Gathering. What is happening? And we will actually after this podcast, I'll be getting myself together to go camping. We're out there right now at Tabernacle, New Jersey. We'll be back out there August 26th to the 28th. So very exciting things. It is like 90 something degrees outside right now. I cannot wait to go out there and finish reading my procrastination book. But yeah, so let's go back to this commercial. And when we come back, we'll be back with our guests.
Peace and grace. Thank you for shining and rising. Chakra DJ here to tell you of a summer fun gathering known as High Soul Gathering. It begins the final Friday of May and continues each month until August. It's held in the beautiful green sceneries of Tabernacle, New Jersey. It's a 3-day camping experience which includes workshops, fun activities, vendors, and of course, the high vibrational blends of Chakra DJ. You can either stay the full weekend or spend the day with us. We promote self-care and common unity. It's a unique experience for you and the family. Tickets and information are available on Eventbrite under High Soul, Summer 2022. Look us up.
Yes. So without further ado, we're going to bring the goddess on stage.
Hey, peace and blessings.
It's so nice to be realigned.
Yes.
Please tell everybody who you are, what it is that you do.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Foxy Roxy. I am the host of Pronoia Starseed podcast on Facebook. I'm on all the time, y'all. So I can't even tell y'all when I'm on. I'm on Mondays through whenever the spirit hits me, I jump on, and it's all the time. So you can tap in there. I call myself a starseed guider. Like I bring starseeds to my page and then they just go off and be great. A lot of people don't tap into their own energies, and sometimes they need just a little spark, and that's what my podcast is for, just to spark the little thoughts in your brain to open you up into who you really are. So that's what we do over there. We talk about astrology, we talk about human design, we talk about I don't know, everything spirituality to get us back to who we are supposed to be. That's what we do. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you. I do thoroughly enjoy your podcast. I also enjoy how often it is, because it's always something to watch. It's always something to talk about. And it's like, you see something in the cosmos, and then I get an inbox, and I'm like, ooh, another episode. Okay, cool. Like, it's going to be aligned in some type of way, shape, or form.
Yes.
I love it. So, today we are talking about Lilith, and give us some insight. What do you know about Lilith already?
So Lilith, okay. So I know the story of Lilith and her being, she didn't even get cast out. She kind of rolled out of the Garden of Eden because, She was trying to be, they were trying to suppress her sexual energy. She wanted to do what she needed to do. She wanted to do it how she wanted to do it. And she felt equal to Adam, whom which she was created at the same time with the same elements. So she felt equal and was not being treated equally. So she decided to roll out. And then she was again demonized as, like, now, I mean, of course, we hear about Lilith being, the mother of the demons and all of this and all of that. But to me, I see Lilith as a very strong. I think a lot of the women that we see now have a lot more Lilith energy and then Eve energy. It's a lot of that independence, a lot of it's not, I don't think we even want to be equal. I hate that word equal. I think it's in harmony. We know where we belong and we want to work in harmony with the masculine energy because we're not equal. Nobody's equal to anything. Like, nobody's equal. Everybody has their own. That's what puzzle pieces aren't the same, for a reason. They're just supposed to fit. So we want to be in harmony with that type of energy. So I that's what I know about Lilith. I know my Lilith placement is in Scorpio. And my Black Moon Lilith, I looked that up, and that's because I was just, I don't know, I was going through my whole chart trying to learn. I know a lot about a little bit, or I know a little bit about a lot of things. So I just try to learn as much as I can, and that's how I kind of stumbled across the Lilith. And I was like, Lilith, oh, like the story of Lilith, and it made sense that it would be, something you would be suppressing within yourself. So that's basically what I know.
Yeah, you basically got the whole gist. I know in Christian, in the Bible, they make it seem the story is that Lilith is the first wife, and they both were created from the same soil. And like I said, Lilith was not beat for the stuff that Adam was trying to do. She was like, all right, I'm out, deuces. And they sent a bunch of angels her way.
Yep.
And she was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need this garden. I don't need him. I don't need nobody.
I'm out.
That is the woman. That was the woman after the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So then they made Eve. They was like, all right, we'll create a more submissive type of energy. We're going to create something from your rib instead of something from the same elements you're from. So Eve was created. In the Jewish realm, they say that she gave birth to night monsters. They're called Lilu or Lilito. And she comes to children and women during childbirth. And so, like, you have to wear like this special amulet when you're pregnant or conceiving or, during childbirth, whatever. So Lilith doesn't come to you and bring terror to you and your children. Rabbis said that these were Adam's demonic offspring. Some say that they were with another angel. I want to say Michael or Gabriel or somebody. And then, yeah. And then as far as the astronomical sense, this is the moon's furthest orbit from Earth. So when you see the moon go the furthest point from Earth in the cosmos, that is when the moon is in its Lilith. It's called the dark side of the moon. And that's why they call it the dark side of us in our natal chart. This is the area you suppress. This is the area of your life that you wish other people would suppress. When you see it in other people, you're triggered. And when I use the word triggered, it's not always a negative aspect. Sometimes it's you're triggered as far as being intrigued, as being interested, as this could possibly be like motivation for you to do something, those aha moments or inspiration moments that get you going. Lilith could be one or two things. My personal Lilith is sitting in Sagittarius, in the fixated energy of Sagittarius in the 4th house. So, just giving insight, like with my Lilith and Sag, when I meet a lot of Sagittarius, I had a year where my coworker, God rest her soul, she passed away about a year ago. She was a Sagittarius, and one of my close friends was also a Sagittarius, and then my Aunt Eliza was also Sagittarius. She also passed off. I realized that the past couple of years, a lot of people that I keep on my altar that passed away the last couple of years were Sagittarians. And one thing that used to irritate me about them is when we were like conversing, they will be talking about themselves, which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Talk about yourself. It's cool. I'm a healer, so of course, the one Sagittarian that I worked with, she just, I was the one she vented to. But when it became my turn to talk, oh, they pick up their phones. Now, they gotta go walk their cat. Their water is boiling in the microwave.
That's my
They
daughter.
don't yeah, they don't want to hear nothing you gotta say at all, not absorbing anything. And it's just like this is an imbalance in communication that I don't appreciate. Um, you know, because of my Lilith being a Sagittarius, Sagittarians is also about philosophy, mindset. I'm definitely very much turned on by listening to people's philosophies and mindsets. I could do that for hours upon hours upon hours. I like to talk about it. I like to listen about it. I like to expand my mindset on it. I believe like 4 or 5 different controversial like things that contradict each other. Like I could believe all 4 or 5 of those equally, and because I see all of them and they all make sense to me. I do believe that is my Sagittarius energy, and I'm definitely motivated by traveling. Now my Lilith Sag is in my 4th house. This is the Cancer energy, intuitive, feminine energy. It is the women, all right, I gotta be a little transparent with y'all. So I do enjoy, like, sexually speaking, because Lilith does deal with sensuality and sexuality. Sensually and sexually speaking, I do have patterns in my life. Where, like, I'll be talking to absolutely no one. And then I get bored. And then I accumulate all these men. And for the first, like, maybe 3-4 weeks at first, it's fun. But then I get irritated. I don't know if that's the Virgo that taps in or what, but I get irritated. And, usually it's just like one guy that I really like out of the group of guys that I've accumulated. So after a while, those other guys kind of like fall off. But when I was younger, I didn't really like try to keep it to one guy. It was always, yeah, I need them all. Like everybody has a job. This is the one that, really likes art. So we go do art shit together. This is the musician. So we write music together. This one is the one that likes to travel. So we're traveling. Like I had somebody for everything. This is the guy that knows how to fix cars. So, my car breaks down, I call that one. Like I had somebody for everybody. That was my mindset. It made sense to me. It didn't make sense to the women around me. They told me that was going to come back and bite me in my ass. I told him to kiss my ass. I wasn't, in my mind, I wasn't hurting anybody because, even in my dialogue with these men, like they didn't mind, they knew what it was, etc., etc. I do find myself reverting back to that sometimes, but my energy won't let me stay in that for too long because I get drained from being around too many people. And that includes men, regardless if I'm receiving or not. But that being in my 4th house is like my intuitive house. Sometimes I'll be in my mindset about that. Do you know what house your Lilith is in?
I don't. I can look it up while we're on here. I have no idea. I just know it's in Scorpio.
Lilith in Scorpio. So do you find yourself like being intrigued by like people in powerful positions? Do you go for the power person in the room?
No.
No.
I'm more into the person that seems off. So I think I'm an Aquarius Pisces, right? So I like the little quirky weirdo. I'm not really into power because I feel like I feel powerful. So I don't seek power necessarily. I think my Lilith kind of influenced my sexuality more. Okay. Very much so. Like the repression of it a lot when I was younger, and now the overtly wanting to be extra sexual as I get older, because I don't know. It's like, because even like, and because it's just talking, right? No, but like when I was younger, it'd be like, I don't know. I think I had a better body when I was younger, but it was like, I was always like, no, that's too short. This is too this and that is too. And I would see people dress a certain way and it would look good on them. But to me, in my mind, I'd be like, that's trashy. shouldn't be dressing like that. But then it'd be like, it looked good. And I knew I would look good in it, but it was just like in my head, it was like, I fought with it. I fought with it a lot. And I was just like, why am I fighting with until I got, I'm 41, until I got into like, I think my late 30s, I started feeling good. Like, I don't even wear a bra anymore. I don't give a damn. Like, what?
God.
Like, what? Bra for what? I got little tatas. They can just sit nicely. We're good. Whatever. I'm like, but before, man, I wouldn't even leave the bathroom naked. Like, I would get dressed in the bathroom type shit. Like, I don't know. It was a blockage and then it went away.
Yeah.
I don't know when it went away. I think it's just when I actually started digging into that Lilith, and then when you talk about sexuality, I like different stuff. Like, I like to explore, and it's things that I was married for a while, and it was just like the same stuff, but after that, it was just something clicked as I got older, and it was like, you don't really like that. You know what you like. It's like, what? Me? What? Me who judges everyone who watches dirty movies and stuff like that. Like, I used to be so fake goody, but I think it was because to me, it was just like, it was something in me that liked certain things that I didn't want to like it. Yeah.
When I know when I was in high school, high school and early college definitely was tapped in my Lilith. Didn't know what a Lilith was, but I was tapped in. It was all about me. I will say, like, I was in a 9-year relationship. I can empathize with what you're saying, because while I was in that 9-year relationship, I think that I went from Lilith to Eve, and my Lilith went dormant, and it didn't matter what I liked. It didn't matter what made me feel good. Those little moments I would steal to make myself feel good, it still didn't feel like, like, I was naked. Now, these people today, they got me beat, because their version of naked is different than my version of naked.
Yeah,
I used to just wear short dresses and stuff, like short shorts and, fishnet stockings underneath my shorts and my dresses and stuff like that. And
sensual, not over sexual. Like, it's a little different. Yeah.
It wasn't very revealing. The most I reveal is my legs. I got long legs, and but my nipples being out, my butt being out, wearing thongs, I was never like that. But, back then, what I was wearing was still like, girl, you gonna put some clothes on? No, I am not. And, but, like the 9 years I was in that I love my 9s, the number of completion. It got to the point where my insides were like screaming at me, like they were mad. Like, girl, first of all, if you don't leave this man, I'm gonna beat your ass. Second of all, if you don't start tapping into yourself and what you like, and start wearing stuff you like, and all that stuff like that, then like, I would just be upset in my head. Like, I would go shopping and I wouldn't buy what I really wanted to wear. I would go buy this maxi skirt instead, because like now I got sons and I don't want my sons to think that certain things, all that stuff like that. So, now when I turned 30, it was something that clicked. Like, I'm back to my short skirts, my short dresses. I wear what I want. I feel sensual again. I feel, I own my stuff. I don't mind being sensual. I don't mind being sexual. I actually do like the attention with certain respects.
Right.
I don't have an issue with saying that. I was around this really dope Sagittarius one time. And the first time I was around her, she did trigger me. I won't lie. Shouts to Crystal John. I rocks with her. But when I was first around her, we went to this, it was like a spiritual girl circle group we were doing on Sundays. And I was in my head like, bro, why we always gotta talk about you and what you want to do? Like the whole conversation, like, and then when I started talking about me, she started picking up her phone, she started doing other stuff, she changed the subject. Like, the whole thing was about her. And I'm in my head like, what the fuck is her sign, bro? Because she making me mad. Like, she's, like, I really love her energy, but for some reason she's pissing me off, like, in this communication realm. So, and I found out she's actually the one that ignited me even. She doesn't even know this. Unless she's watching this right now, she doesn't even know this. But she's the one that actually ignited me even looking into my Lilith. Because once I realized my Lilith was in Sag, I was like, wait a minute. let me find out why this woman triggered me so much, because I
Mm.
really like her, but she really irritated me at the same time. And that was a weird feeling, because usually when someone irritates me, it's like, oh, I can cut this person off. Like, I'm good. But I couldn't cut her off. It was like, no, I want to be around her more. I like talking to her. But like this little thing she does, I gotta go. So when I like started really tapping into that, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the Sagittarian energy, me, the impatient thing and all that stuff like that. And I am about myself. I try not to be about myself too much in dialogue now. I try to catch myself. You know, I do know I do a couple podcasts where it's just me talking and I don't let other people on. And that's intentionally.
Right.
That's so that I can get that out the way. So that
Right.
I can do like things like this and listen to other people talk. Because I done already got my Monday planetary forecast in. I done already
Right.
got my moments with sunshine. Like I can be giving here. But yeah, that was like the first part. I went back to wearing what I want to wear, going back into my sensuality. I won't say that I'm as free as I was when I was younger now, because I have more discipline, spiritual discipline with my sensual energy, sexual energy, but it doesn't suppress me. You know what I'm saying? It's not suppressive. It's just I just know. It's discernment.
Yeah. That's crazy because you said that your Lilith is in Sagittarius, and so you were irritated by the Sagittarius, and I am that way with Scorpios. I call them Scorpios, and I don't deal with, like, I will avoid a Scorpio. I don't give a damn if you didn't do anything to me yet. If I find out you're a Scorpio, I'm out. Peace. They be like, why? Because my dad is a Scorpio, because my brothers are Scorpios, because it's, and Scorpio is in my seventh house. Yes, it's Scorpio, and it's something about them. It's like I'm trying to avoid them, like even and I can't. And they're everywhere, and it's like they are attracted to me, and I'd be like, I don't like Scorpios, and it's just like I have this
Mm-mm.
mindset of what a Scorpio is in my head, and I just can't get past it. And so even if I met a guy who was totally loyal, I would still think he was a cheater because he was a Scorpio, and it's like stuck in my brain. So it's funny because I have this really disdain for Scorpios, and that's where my Lilith is. So now I have to wonder why, because they are very sensual and sexual.
They
Like,
are.
I used to date a Scorpio, and he was a hoe. I gave him one chance, and I was like, see.
They do be hoeing. They do be hoeing. My sister is a Scorpio, and she's very confident in her wholeness, and I
Yeah.
ain't mad. I ain't mad at all.
Yeah.
I hats off if you can do it in this time and space with things. And it's crazy because like I'll have a mindset like, oh my gosh, because now that we've elevated, we meet a whole nother caliber of men. We're not meeting dusty men anymore. We don't attract that dust stuff. We don't attract that nonsense no more. We attract very well to do, very spiritual men that are like community builders, aware of self. And that is so attractive. And sometimes I'll be in my head like, dang, I kind of want to collect them all like Pokemon. Like, I don't know. But then, that Virgo come back into me like, bro, I just kind of want like one person and chill. But I do like attention. I won't lie. I love attention. And that is definitely that Sagittarius vibe.
I wish so, like, there probably was a life where I was like into lots of people at one time. I think it's my projectorness this life that I'm a projector. So when
Mm-hmm.
projectors do better in just one-on-one. And so when I get into people, the problem is I get so focused and absorbed into that one person. There are people always around that be, and I never even notice it until I'm detaching and I'm like, damn, they be like, yeah, I've been watching you for like 17 years, but you were just so stuck on such and such. And it's like, damn, I don't even notice. So a lot of times I be thinking, I'm not pulling nobody out this joint. They be like, what? You just seem intimidating. And I don't even see that shit. I feel like I'm very open, but people say you're intimidating. And maybe it's the vibe that I think that I'm not attracting people that keeps that wall up that people just don't come in.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then somebody will come in and then they'll say that to me. They'll be like, okay, well, your energy is a lot. So I'll be like, oh, okay. All right. Well, have a good day.
It's that Lilith vibe. You know, these Adams out here, they don't know what to do with a Lilith vibe. That's why they be out here begging for Eves. I want to Eve like my grandmom. I want to Eve like my ancestors. They used to be together for hundreds of years because they were Eves. They were
Right.
Eves. They were silly. They were doing what anybody, a serpent come up and tell them what the fuck to do, and they would do it. Like, I'm not, no, ew.
And so
No.
I heard a story about the serpent, which I thought was a kind of good, you know, that it was actually Lilith trying to like tell Eve, like, yo, young, come on now. Like trying to like in a way of sisterhood to try to open up her, like, you know, if you eat this
Ah,
joint, you gonna be all right. Because at the end of the day,
fuck that nigga, sis.
like eat this shit and know yourself. That's what it was like. It was that was the one of the versions of the story was like it was actually just Eve, Lilith, and Adam in the garden. Like Lilith was still there. She had just turned herself into a snake and was like, "Yo, let me drop some knowledge on you, sis, because you from this dude rib. So everything he do, you trying to do, but you know you can do it another way, right?" And she
Right.
ate that shit.
Told him to eat that shit too. That wasn't even for him. It
It wasn't. It
was
wasn't.
not.
And it's kind of like almost. It's kind of hard to say this, but like if people understand the alignment of how energy works, right? We've been out of alignment because we've been putting the masculine energy in places that it doesn't belong, in channels that it can't get the energy through because it's not a conduit of energy. It is it takes the energy from, but there needs to be the tube that it travels through is the feminine energy. And it's been out of order. It's like putting the neck on top of the head instead of
Mm,
putting it, and it's like you're like, well, I can't drink no water. Where you kept pouring it on top of the neck and it's splashing on top of your head. Put the fucking place where it belongs, and you'll get the information that you need. So it's kind of like trying to make like men can get tap into certain energies, but a woman is easier to tap into an energy that is divinely starts off as feminine. People don't want to believe it, but all energy is feminine, and then feminine broke away from itself and created the masculine energy. So of course it'll
mhm,
be easier for a feminine energy to tap into a feminine energy. So then you have this feminine energy who can actually work to help you, right? This is how she became the helpmate, because she was the oracle. She was the one who had the closestness to the divine energy. And so you if you can accept that shit, then you can accept the real role of what a woman can bring to the table. Until you can accept that, you're looking for the wrong things out of her. You're looking
they
for
out here
somebody
looking
to
for
come in.
Eves.
Yeah, I'm not an Eve, but I could tell you that if I feel there's something in my gut and you getting ready to make a deal and I tell you don't do it, don't do it. Because
Mhm,
I'm getting a download that you may not be getting. But if you don't trust your woman, if you're not picking the right woman, if you're picking an Eve and not somebody who's actually tapping into their own energy and saying yes, not based on your rib, but based on their own design,
mhm.
then because a man who findeth a wife, they say that over and over in the Bible. Never have I heard a woman who findeth a husband finds a great thing. I'm just saying,
Ashe.
the reason you find a great thing is because you find you an oracle. You find you somebody who can tap into an energy you cannot tap into, because
Mhm,
she has both in her. She has the masculine and the feminine. You are a physical male and you hold physical male energy and feminine energy, but you are a physical male. So certain things about you, you're not going to be able to get because that physical is blocking it out. Let her in. That's why but people don't get that shit. And that's why I'm going to be single forever. Because until a dude can understand who I am to him and how to use me, you're going to misuse me. You're going to mistreat
yeah.
me.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah.
You're gonna mistreat me every time. I think it's our duty to go into the grounds of the pygmies and get them to eat the motherfucking apples, because they are creating a certain kind of vibe
Yes.
that's like misleading these men into what like we're actually here to do and what we're here for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Because when I did the mother show, the energy of there was some masculine energy who was very receptive to what I was saying. It was a show. It was hard for me to do because I want to welcome men and women to my platform, but I realized that men don't want to hear about feminine energy, even though they hold it within themselves, even
Yeah,
though
they
they have
don't wanna hear about
intuition, even though they have all the compassionate, all the creativity. That's the feminine energy within them, but they don't want to talk about it sometimes. And so I knew that by me telling them, stating it out my mouth, that all energy started off feminine and then broke off. Like, who created the chicken? Who came first, the chicken or the egg? I always say it doesn't matter. Either one was feminine because
Mhm.
if it was the egg, it had to give birth to more chickens. Nothing gives birth to anything. Creativity comes from the feminine energy. It's nothing wrong with saying that. Why is it so okay for so many years to believe that that God was a man, and then if we say it's a woman, it's like, what the fuck are you saying? How dare you? Okay, I'm not saying it's a woman. I'm saying it's the almighty beginning creation started off feminine. Within feminine, there is masculine and feminine. Within masculine, there is no feminine. It's just masculine. So it's kind of like saying that white created dark, you know? You can't. Nothing can come from light. Everything comes from darkness first. It has to come from somewhere first. And once we just say, okay, we can accept this concept, everything else will fall into order. But this is the part that's hard to accept. And that's why we're dealing with this Roe versus Wade stuff right now. That's why we dealt with the Jada Pinkett and the Will Smith issues and the Johnny Depp and his wife. It's about a divisiveness between the energies right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is so hell bent on when we're trying to come together. Something is like, because if you understand and you respect and we put it in order,
it's gonna be a force. It's gonna be a force.
absolutely.
Whole force. I'm sweating too hard for this. This keeps falling. But yeah, it's gonna be a whole force. The camel walk with you on that one, thinking about how, like you said, everything comes from feminine energy, and that brings more understanding to the spectrums of the people that we give birth to. It's not just like, oh, you're 100% feminine or you're 100% masculine. There's spectrums to this, and not only is there spectrums to this energy, there's spectrums within spectrums. Like, I know men that are very feminine. Like, they speak softly, they're the nurturers to the children and everything, but they have a wife. They love women. They're attracted to women. I know men that are so feminine that they're attracted to other men. I know, there are spectrums to this. And like, once you absorb that everything, starts off feminine, and then it's like, all right, how much percentage are you going to have of masculine energy in this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, this chakra? That's what determines those little details that everybody want to pinpoint out. We live in such a binary space in life. I'm not a fan of any of these labels either. I need people to know that there's spells in the labels that you speak. So calling yourself trans and pay attention to the suffixes and the prefixes you're putting on your titles too, because you're trapping yourself in that word, and you don't have to. You really don't have to do that. Once upon a time, our beings that were so tapped into the masculine and feminine, those were our shamans. Those were the ones we went to because they were so tapped into both.
Right.
That, we could go to them for that certain level of guidance. And then the same thing what you said about the oracle. I've never have I ever, in the history of books of kings and emperors and everything, have I ever seen a man go to a male oracle.
Never.
Never seen a male sage, a male witch, or anything be by the side of a king or queen.
Now they'll have her jacked up though. They have her all fucked up with one eyeball and everything, because they don't want you to think that even a beautiful woman can be a sage and all that. Don't even like, that's why they do that to witches and shit, give you the crooked nose and shit. But we know that ain't. We know that the most beautiful women are natural women. So you looking at like a witch or something, you might be looking at. Don't get it twisted. Like, people get it twisted. And you're right. It's never the king always had him an oracle or a sage or somebody he went to for advice. Should we fight this war? Should we not fight this war? What's going to happen? On Troy, he went to his mother, and she was a seer, and he asked her, what's going to happen? Should I go to war, or should I love this woman? And he said, if you love this woman, your name not going to get passed down. If you go to war, you're going to die, but your name will go on forever. Make your choice. And it's like she can see certain things. Why? Because she's tapped into her energy. You can, and it's okay. The minute you accept that, it's okay, then you can use her what she's for, and she's okay with that, because we're here to be, we're receivers, right? We want to be take care of her, make sure she's taken care of, because she's got all the knowledge. You don't want her stressing out. Keep her cool, relax, because when it's time, you're going to need her. You don't want her to be stressed out, not wanting to talk to you. You need some information. Now she can't even connect because she all fucked up in the head. Stop messing your women up. get them right. Help them become the best them, because until you put the woman where she belongs, everything else is going to be out of place. Until she goes back into where she belongs, everything else is going to be out of place. And this energy don't give a damn about if we choose to or choose not. It'll eliminate those who choose not. We'll just get rid of you. So just like I be telling people, like, I don't get caught up in when that Kevin Samuels and all that shit. That's divisiveness. All of this is about making us look at each other and say, see, she thinks she better. And now when I have to come on and tell you that the energy is feminine, you thinking I'm saying something negative. I'm not. But because it's like all this, when the Me Too movement came, that didn't help us. That hurt us.
That had nothing to do with
because
us.
now it's like we're so sensitive, like you can't do nothing to women. You can't do nothing. And so now if I tell you that the guy that you kept looking up to that looked like Santa Claus is just as make-believe as Santa Claus, but that there is an energy, and it's a feminine energy to begin with, and it created the masculine energy within you. You don't want to hear that. You rather believe in Santa Claus because that shit feels more comforting, because that's a masculine energy. Don't matter that it's been the oppression of you for so many years. It's still masculine. It's still something I can relate to because I'm a man. Oh man, get out of that. Because for so many years as women, we had to say that was our God, and we was okay with that. Women ruled the church. If you go to a church, it's full of black women believing in this white God. And then if I tell a black woman that maybe that's not the truth, and maybe the energy within them is actually stronger than they will look at me and tell me I'm a witch and cast me aside. If I walk into the church, I'll catch on fire. And it's like, all I'm trying to do is tell you the truth about yourself.
I know this is probably like egotistical to say, because I don't want to take away from the things that men go through. However, I will say that women sat in the most powerful of spaces. We had the most powerful seat. Yes, the man had the throne. The man was the king, but the man essentially protected and provided for the women in his kingdom. Yep. The women that he laid with, that was his duty. And so when all this captivity stuff started happening, it was really about the woman. It was really about dethroning the women. You get into the Civil War. It was the Civil War. It was transmuting that feminine energy into making it masculine dominant. Because after that war, everything started being very patriarchal. That PAT prefix was put on everything. The Bible was, transmuted, because that was our book. That was our book. But then it got transmuted. It was a lot of energy going towards breaking down the woman. A woman had to watch her man be raped. They didn't just rape men in quiet and private. No, they made the women watch. The women watched their sons and their husbands and their brothers be raped. The women were gang raped themselves. The women had their children sold. The women would have their bellies cut open and watch their babies be fed to the alligators, the reptilians. These are things that were done to women. Does this take away from the strife that the men got through? No, because that shit happened to y'all. But this was to fuck with the women. This was to fuck with our minds and turn us back into Eves. We were not Eves.
Even in the Bible, when they got to the snake and they were trying to place the blame on who it was for. It said there will be enmity between her children, meaning the men that she created will not even. How could we hate the ladies that make the babies? These men that we have created don't even know that we created them. It's kind of like I just explained to my friend. I'm not about to be telling my kids don't know nothing about no damn Santa Claus, because guess what? If I give props to somebody else for doing what I did for you this whole time, this energy you're putting towards this figure that didn't do anything for you. If I turn around
all
and
patriarchal figures, everything is patriarchal, down to the fucking Easter bunny. Easter is supposed to be about fertility.
Yes.
Why the fuck do we have a bunny up there and not a goddess?
Yes.
Make it make sense, y'all. Y'all couldn't put a man up there. They trying to put a man up there now. They trying to make men get pregnant so they can replace the bunny rabbit with a pregnant man. But no, come on now. I even had a man sit in my phone talking about some once upon a time men used to get pregnant and give birth and women were the protectors and providers. And I said, oh my goodness, we
No,
can't
once
talk
upon a
about
time, women used to actually think shit into existence within their own bodies because they encompass enough DNA within them that they could create their own babies. But what happened was, okay, we're not going to go there because beyond patriarchy, before the patriarch, there was a matriarch. You know, the whole passing down the crown to your son came from passing down the mitochondrial DNA to your daughter first. See, this is a fake. See, this is physical. I can give you this crown, and now because you're my son, you get this crown. But what is within you is passed down to your daughters. Queens make queens every day, and they don't have to call themselves queens. It's in your DNA. It's not a crown you have to put on your head. So, yeah, the masculine energy started mimicking what it saw the feminine energy doing for so long. It just recreated it, and that's why we got war. There was no wars and shit before that. Feminine energy don't war about. We're not about to be warring. We're gonna figure this shit. We're gonna make it work because it's all about compassion, and it's not about that. The wars and shit came when they broke off into these little, and then they start tearing down the feminine energy. The Old Testament is about, again, I saw that and I read it, that the Old Testament is about the tearing down of her temples.
Yes.
That's why it's the old. They don't even want you reading that shit. Read that. We in the New Testament.
No, read the new one. Read the new one. All these religions go by the New Testament now. New King James, New International, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't even want to read the old one. Don't want to talk about how they took us down off our throne and replaced us with these fucking Eves out here, these androids. They're not even real women. That's why they can't procreate. That's why they're having all these troubles. They need fertility clinics and fucking, oh, I don't make milk. I need formula. Why are you not making milk, bro? Why is that a problem? And they get so triggered. You can't even speak on the things they can't do. If you're not a real one, you're not a real one. It's okay. It's okay. But they got them out here procreating. A lot of these women out here, they don't even, it's crazy because it's like they spend time creating these individuals. And, GMOs and creation is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. I need people to know that. So when you read in the Bible how they was recreating man and recreating the woman from the man, Lilith already existed before Adam was even born. Lilith was already here. They was recreating a whole new species for whatever the fuck they wanted to do. So now that the Liliths are returning, and some of the Liliths are returning in male bodies, we know why, because male bodies are capable of doing other things that female bodies cannot do. So you have these strong, big men that, they might be romantically attracted to other men, or they might have physical, feminine qualities, or they might be a little bit more intuitive. But like they're coming in these bodies because they need to physically do certain things. Like you said, I like what you said, how like we pass the crowns off intuitively in our DNA. We don't need the physical crown. Just spiraling, because I spiral when I talk. Excuse me. I got some Gemini in my chart. But I remember one time I was in the MSTA, the Moorish Science Temple, and one of the gentlemen, he put a fez on my son's head. At the time, my son was about 6 or 7. And my son was like, take that off my head. I don't need a crown to let me know I'm a king. I know who I am, and I'm bigger than a king. Like, this is what my 6, 7-year-old said. Get that shit off my head, bro. I don't need that. So, like, where is my son? I don't, I get very big feminine vibes off of him. He be aligning me sometimes. Both my sons align me sometimes, reminding me, hey, you don't need that. You don't need this. Go over there and do that. Like, this is not what, like, you're getting stuck in the world shit again, mom. This is about the spiritual realm. Don't eat that shit. Go eat some fruits and vegetables. Like, my kids be putting me on sometimes when I need it. So it's like, it's not always, all these, women came up in women bodies. Some of us had to come up in male bodies because we see the way the world is set up right now. Like, oh, y'all only listen to us when we in a man body. Y'all only gonna respect us if we in a da-da-da-da. So now some of us got to go ahead and take that, bite that bullet, and go ahead and be in that man body so that you can get things done in that space and place.
And that's something just people can't you talk about energy. Energy is choosing based on where we at right now. Like, we come back, like, I believe we've all been here a million times,
Yeah.
Like, I know I've been there. Lord, I can't get away from Egypt. I know I didn't been there. I probably was the last incarnation. I probably hung out, up there for a while before I came back because that shit is like stuck to me. But when we can't stick certain energies and say that the energy has to be stuck to a certain body. The energy is feminine or masculine, period. But when
Mm-hmm.
it chooses a feminine body, it's like it matches the energy. Let's just put it that way. The feminine energy matches the body, so we expect
Mm-hmm.
it. But the thing about it is coming in a masculine energy is unexpected. So maybe the reason why you're hiding in there is because it's the unexpected. I need to make some shit happen. And I can't. I've been trying to do it this way. So let me see if I can do it this way. Because spirit don't give a damn about what we feel down here about. Oh, I don't like when you act like, nah, that's petty. I needed to get some shit done. The
Right.
universe gonna get what it need to get done. It's gonna use who it need to use. And it's gonna see what the climate is. Oh, this is what they accepted. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna maneuver how it needs to maneuver. That's why you can't outmaneuver the universe. Because it is the game. The game always wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah,
You
no,
can
you're
feel
right.
like
Like
you're gonna win if you want to. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. You're
yes,
gonna get your feelings hurt.
I learned that by making. I don't make a lot of plans. I let the universe plan a lot of things. People think I go with the flow, or they think I'm lazy or whatever. No, I'm going with the flow of the universe. Sometimes the universe gets me into action, and sometimes it's time to rest and go and let things play out the way they're supposed to. You know,
Mhm.
tapping into that feminine energy and stop doing the masculine thing we've been doing. Though, always just we're trying to be one up the universe. We're trying to be ahead of whatever is supposed to be coming instead of just letting it come in. And this energy, this 2022 energy has been so real. I've been talking about this shit before. I don't know. Like I knew it was coming. I didn't even know what it was that I knew was coming, but I knew it was a shift coming. And I try to tell people this pendulum, the reason you seeing it like this is because it's been over here so long. If you have a pendulum and you pull it back, and you hold it for a long time in this position, you let it go, it's going to swing all the way on the other side. So you're going to see a lot of feminine shit going on right now.
Mhm.
Eventually, it's going to have to go to the middle. When it stops swinging back and forth, it's going to fall in the middle. And the
Yep.
masculine and the feminine are going to recognize their places. And everything that's in the middle that's got it's a blade there. It's gonna cut shit out. People gonna go, things gonna go, systems will fall. That is what you're seeing now, the crumbling of systems that are too patriarchal. Because when this energy is coming in, you gotta have a door to open it up to. If you all patriarch, you ain't got no feminine energy up in there. It's none. If you're a man and you don't tap into your feminine energy, you think you're going to the next level where the feminine energy is. I explained this before. If you are in a country that's fully patriarchal, right, and a woman can be identified as cheating on her husband by somebody just saying it, and she gets stoned, the pendulum has swung in this country so far to the left right now that if you are not tap into that feminine energy, the Kali sword will get rid of you. Meaning, if you
Mhm.
are too masculine, if you are degrading the feminine energy, if you are trying to take away from it, if you are continually trying to suppress it while it is coming in, that is why things happen to people who don't tap into their full selves. Know your whole self. Because if you are too masculine at this time, it's not going to work out for you. It's not. Because you are a do structure, structure, structure. And things right now is about flow and go. It's not about structure. Structures are falling. The people that are calm are those who are going with the flow. The people that are fucking freaking out, they are still attached to this matrix system.
Yes. They are still attached to this matrix system. You said a mouthful, sis. If you still stuck on this matrix system, it's gonna feel like everything is falling apart. If you still stuck on this gas shit, this gas prices and the prices of things rising and all the money stuff, you gonna get hurt, baby. Now, you gotta learn how to be comfortable with the idea that you might be outside building your house with some sticks. Because the individuals that built these homes that we live in right now, the individuals that control the electricity and the gas that we're utilizing right now, these individuals built this shit on like negative pretenses. They built it on that heavy masculine energy. They built it with that blood money. They built it with that nasty energy. So if you are walking righteously and you feel these things being removed from you, let them go. because that is the universe removing that energy from you. Now, if you want to stay in it, you're going to keep reaping the karma from it. That means when the bills go up, that's you reaping the karma. When your electric and your gas go up, that's you reaping the karma of you still staying in that shit. If your car payment is you struggling, the gas is going up, your car keep breaking down, that's you reaping the karma of you staying in this realm and saying, you know what, I'm going to hold on to these materials created with all this blood money and these nasty mindsets behind it, because we already had ships. First of all, this vessel is a ship by itself, and that's why the being so stuck in it and not wanting to imagine or fathom anything without it is silly. This is a ship right here. Um, we had ships already, but they were destroyed, they were dismantled, the technology was removed, they disrupted our relationship with nature. Everything we had was literally derived from nature, and then they brought in their technology with, you know to replace the nature that we already had here on this plane, to build their houses, to build their cars, to do all that stuff. Like gas, they're digging up ancestor graves for the gas. And a lot of people get, when I say ancestors, I also mean human bodies, because they are doing that. They're actually is a little gray area in the rule that people that buy the grave. First of all, most people don't own the graves that their families are in, they're leasing them, so they don't have full control over what's done to the grave. That's one. That's why I say, when I die, you bury me on my land, you tell nobody, let my body be where it's at, leave me alone. But they don't have control over the graves. On top of that, if you do have control over the graves, they have a right to dig within an inch or a centimeter of those dimensions. You literally only run those dimensions. So if they just happen to dig underneath those dimensions, because bodies are buried on top of bodies, they can dig even further underneath the ground to that little dimension that nobody ever purchased. And now, yes, they are siphoning your ancestors' materials to create gas. Not only are they doing it with the human body self here, they're doing it with our giants when we used to be in giant vessels. Have you noticed? Every now and then they'll tell you when they've uncovered a giant, but they don't tell you every time. Why? Because that's where a lot of the oil is coming from. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to be
Where
like,
we get fossil fuel for so long? Like, seriously, where
where
the fossils
do
coming
you think
from?
we're getting it from?
Right.
There's a shortage on water, quote unquote, but there's never a shortage on oil and gas.
Never.
Like, come on now, stop playing with me. That's why I don't feed into this the gas price is going up, because they're making up reasons. They gave y'all all this money and they're looking for ways to take it back.
Right.
We gave you all this money because we didn't want y'all to revolt. We're still trying to control y'all. They didn't give you that money because they gave a fuck about y'all, because COVID, blah blah blah. They don't give a fuck about you. If they give a fuck about you, you wouldn't be using money. They don't care about you. It was social control. These people are scared.
Yeah.
These people, are 2 seconds away from revolting. These people just ran up the fucking Capitol building. They're outside marching. They're looking up. They're doing all these things. We have to do something. Give them money. When you give them money, they're quiet. They're buying shit. They're we're going to put some avatars on the internet and tell them to buy black on Tuesdays. Why the fuck would you buy black on a Tuesday? Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Mars is a warrior-like energy. Why black people are tying themselves to Mars like that? You know what? More power to you. I never participated in that. I don't even call myself black. Don't do that. Black Tuesday. Don't do that. Be mindful of the spells we speak. So like they put these black excellent leaders up here. We have a few infiltrators in the spiritual realm, and because I know some of them personally, I'm like, you know what, they're young, they don't realize they're being utilized as vessels. Maybe just let them live their course out. Maybe they'll let go of that energy. Maybe the spells will break. I'm praying for them. But they put a lot of these avatars on the internet making quote unquote conscious music, conscious content, blah 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 blah, but they're still leading you to the things that these individuals created. They're still leading you to their dollars, not pinnacles. They're leading you to their dollars. They're leading you to keep playing their economic games. Like every time I hear, I don't care how spiritual you are. Soon as I hear you start repeating indoctrination and start justifying it, justifying why we should play the game, and
Right.
oh, you don't want to get left behind, I cut you out. I can't listen to you no more because
Mhm.
you're part of the problem. You're still uplifting these motherfuckers. I don't care what your backstory or your motivation is or how quote unquote realistic you're being. This is not realistic. This money not real. This whole construct is not real. So being,
Right.
if you think you're being realistic, baby, you're not. This is the most unrealistic part of this realm that we have to defeat. But if you're over here teaching millions, and then you have to know, people like me and you get blocked and shadow banned. There's a reason why that person is allowed to have thousands and thousands of followers. Look at their content. Is there somebody up there shaking their ass? Is there
Right.
somebody up there, even though they're using conscious bars, are they still talking about low vibrational things? Is
Right.
it somebody up there that, is telling people how to invest in this and buy this dollar and buy that internet dollar and buy? Because when I was doing Forex and Bitcoin and stuff and posting that, that's when I got the most views. But when I walked away from that realm because I realized what it really was and what I was really investing my money into, oh, I got shadow banned. Oh, you're not teaching people how to keep up with the economy no more? Bitch, you gotta go. You're not you want to be Lilith, you don't want to be Eve, you gotta go. You
Mhm.
gotta go.
You gotta leave the
And that's how
garden.
it is.
This is the garden. You want to play? You can stay in the garden. If you don't want to play, you got to get the fuck on.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna demonize you too. And that's
Yep.
what, yeah. I try to keep it as, again, I do elementary to middle school on my show because I know that some people ain't ready for college because it's too much. It's a lot to understand. And when I started, the thing about, again, I love human design, is that my head, and you open. It was so much stuff you were saying I wanted to say to you, but I was like, oh wait, talk to her offline about it. But you open. That's why you can, no, you open. Like, I saw your chart, right? And you have a lot of open spaces. That's why you can have a person that does this, boom, they hit this energy. See, there's natural energy that comes from people who have defined spaces, and you have undefined spaces. So when they come in your energy, you can tap into theirs. So
Mm.
it's like, oh yeah, this one's good for this. And when I'm around you, I get this, because they feel those energy things within you. So it makes so much sense when you said that.
Ah.
And with mine, I have an open headspace, and you do too. This is also why you like to listen to different philosophies, and you can hold on to all of them and they all make sense to you because your ajna is undefined and your headspace is undefined. So you're open to certain things, but you have to be careful of your own thoughts because they are not necessarily all your thoughts, because you're so open to other people's thoughts too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have those open undefined centers and stuff like that, they keep you, they are your greatest um ability to become wise in those places. When you're defined, you're fixed, like a fixed sign. You just, that's your shit. But when you are open, you're mutable. You can go with the flow. You around this person, now you feel energized. You around this person, now you want to smoke. You around this person, you want to go to the races. You around this person because that's their energy you pulling in. And that's the beauty of it. I don't even know how I got there, but I just wanted to say that to you because when you were speaking earlier, all I could hear was, "Ooh, that's her human design. It's her human design. It's your signs too, because all of that is a part of the human design. But it's your human design for you to be so, and then you push people away because that's a manifester. They're like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. It's enough. All right, I got what I needed. It's enough. It's enough. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll come back when I need some more, but I'm good now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay because, and everybody has to learn everybody else's human design so you know what you're dealing with. Like you have no sacral energy space. So you are attracted to sacral beings, people who have that energy in that sacral space. And sacral, we know that's our sex area. We don't have it naturally, me or you. I'm a projector, you're a manifester, and reflectors. Those three, we don't have it. So, but
Mm.
70% of the world do. So, baby, we out here like, yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
like your energy. Oh, I like your energy. We tasting the different energies. We getting a taste of everybody's energy. They don't get to taste ours. We don't have it. We get to taste theirs though. They think they do. They get our vibe. They get our energy in a certain way, but they don't get to keep it the way we get to. It's like we get to keep a little of, and we learn. Don't you learn a lot from people? Like, think about this. Have you had exes and you be like, yo, like later on, you may not fuck with them immediately, but later on you be like,
Mhm.
yo, like I have an ex and I'd be like, yo, now I'm in better shape because this person taught me this and this about myself. Or this person actually taught me spirituality, even though they fucked me over. got something else from them. I got this and this.
Mhm.
And now it's like I'm building a better me based on the shit that I picked up, because you have those empty spaces, you're able to get the good shit too, you know? So I
Mhm.
think it's beautiful. I can't wait to get into your human design and how you come back on my show. I'm gonna
Yes,
stop.
I look forward to it. I like what you said about the sacral chakra thing because, like, I kind of don't, and it's like I always blame like all my Virgo energy. Like, I'm a Virgo stellium, so my Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus, and my Vesta, they're all in Virgo. So
Damn.
it's like, I really like to manifest. However, like when it comes to like that sexual energy, I could be a little prudy, but I thoroughly enjoy dominant beings in that sensual sexual realm. Like I like when they take the lead because it makes me feel good. I like to be, a little submissive in that space or whatever. Like, I like big zaddy
Yeah.
energy.
Yes, yes. That's because
Definitely.
see, when you lack that sacral energy, you are attracted to it. And then you can't sometimes you can get addicted to it. That's the thing. You can
Mhm.
come because it's like a always running generator. And then they wonder why you want to get down all the time. It's because you ain't got it. You're like, oh yeah, I can do it. You ready? You ready? You ready? And they're like, damn, girl,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? It's because you are getting filled by their energy and they tired as fuck. And now you ready to go run out and go shopping and do all these things. And then you
Yo.
want to go back.
That's exactly how it goes. Like, hey, all right, I'm about to go outside. You trying to come outside? Okay.
You be done. You ready. You ready for the world because you didn't pulled all their energy, because you don't have
It's
that space, but
funny.
you done filled it up. You done plugged it in, girl.
That's exactly how it goes. Everybody watching, y'all know where y'all Lilith is. And yes, you are right, Melody. We are the gas. We are the gas. In so many different spaces, ways, and forms. There actually is a brother who learned how to make engines run on piss. I think that's dope.
Are you
I
serious?
think that's dope. And I want
That is
parts.
dope. We throwing piss away every day. We can just go and fill. What?
We
I
put
can
piss
sit
in our
here.
water all the time. I remember that first episode of Alf. You remember Alf, the alien? And the first episode of Alf when he came on Earth, he went to the bathroom and he was like, "What's this? This is your water supply." And he was about to start drinking it, and the family was like, "No, you don't want to drink out of there. That's where we like put our excrements." And he was like, "Why are you guys shitting and pissing in your water supply?" Like, and that was like the joke. You know how to press the laugh
Right.
button and the crowd started laughing. But in my mind, I'm like, bro, that's not fucking funny. Why do we do that? That doesn't make any sense. And then the one thing I really noticed was like when COVID happened, why the fuck did we have to get toilet paper? What was that about? So
Who?
we might
Who?
be in
What?
lockdown, but definitely buy a bunch of paper to put in our water supply. Bleach
Right.
paper. Wipe your vaginas more with bleach paper because that doesn't bring fibroids.
Yeah, all of
I
that shit, and that's something else right there. Keep
That
putting
was
that
weird to
cotton up
me.
in you and all that shit, all them GMOs and all that
Yeah.
shit, and then my daughter be like, "I don't wanna use a Diva cup." I don't give a damn whether you're gonna use it.
I
I ain't gonna
use
lie.
reusable pads. So ever since I actually make my own pads, somebody told me, "Oh, you need to make them for other people and sell them." I kind of don't feel like it, but I make reusable pads. They're bamboo pads. They're very absorbent. I just wash them and things like that. But I've been using them since I had my son because, just regular pads just don't. I don't like them. I'm sitting on trash. You figure you sit on trash from the moment you come into this realm because diapers are also made out of trash. They're quick to wipe you with baby wipes, which is a whole bunch of chemicals. Then they stuff your body with a whole bunch of vaccines. Then you got all this Johnson and Johnson bullshit. They intentionally changed their name to J&J so that when you Google them, all those lawsuits and stuff don't pop up anymore. But I remember because I never forget.
Mhm.
And you have all that stuff, from the moment you walk in, from the moment you come out the womb. In fact, before you even come out the womb, because they done injected the mother with a whole bunch of shit during her pregnancy. They done injected the grandmother, and they just go back and back and back all the way to the beginning when they first got here of giving our people vaccines and giving our people syphilis and smallpox since they've been here.
Mm.
And so you're dealing with generations and generations of all that trash, from diapers, the pads, the wipes. Now they got the feminine spray, the feminine wipes, the feminine deodorants, and all that stuff. Like, that's just chemical. And then your melanin. I tell people all the time to read the book, The Science and the Myth of Melanin. It's going to teach you why they jam pack you with so many chemicals, because our bodies are literal filters. Our bodies are filters, like the same thing. Oh, I don't like shrimp because they're cockroaches. They eat all the dirt. Nigga, so do you. That's what we do here. We filter
Right.
air. And your melanin knows that's what it does here. So
Mhm.
we're like literal walking organites, which is why when people say, "Oh, I don't need crystals anymore," honestly, you do. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you are a walking organite. As long as you live in urban neighborhoods, as long as you live in the square house, as long as you keep eating and drinking everything from out of supermarkets and stuff, and you're not literally just growing and eat what you grow in the middle of nowhere away from cars, trucks, warehouses, you need crystals, you need organites to help boost your energy. Just like you need to take supplements, just like you need to do Ayurvedic healing and eat, righteously, because you really don't need to eat either. You don't need to fucking eat. But because we live in this realm and we live how we live, we need supplements. We need supplements. So crystals are supplements to our energy, just like food and vitamins are supplements to our energy, inner self. So I tell people that all the time, like, unless you're living like that and stuff like that, yes, you do need them. You need the boost. You need them on your body. You need them on your space. Now, when you start to 100% go back to how we used to be, maybe you won't need them no more. More power to you, because that's definitely the goal.
Right.
Okay, so we got some people. This individual, his Lilith is in Scorpio, just like yours, in the 7th house, which is that Libra house of one-on-one relationship. Didn't you say yours was in 7th house?
Yeah, I have Scorpio in my 7th house. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So like your triggers and stuff like that is usually coming from that one-on-one relationships, those intimate people in your space. You probably have some Scorpios in your realm that that are going to show you yourself to you. So pay attention to that. And then right now we spoke on Lilith actually being in Gemini right now above us, and Lilith entered the 11th house yesterday. So yesterday at 10:40 a.m., Lilith entered the 11th house. So Lilith on the outside of us is sitting in our community space, is sitting in our humanitarian energy. So if you do feel triggered to start doing things for your community, you do feel triggered to start communicating with people in that community realm of yourself, whether your community is in your virtual space with your group, maybe certain friends that you talk to most often, or take it off of virtual space and go outside and look at your neighbors that you talk to on a regular basis. That's your community. It goes a little further out than your friends and family. It's like that next step out of social. And then 11th house, we know, is your humanitarian pursuits. What are you doing for the community? Things like that. That's where it's going to come out in. We have somebody else up here. My Lilith is in Aquarius. Ooh, I love that. And you're in the fixated vibe of Aquarius, 11 degrees. That's love. So yours is like detachment, learning how to detach, social, that rebellious energy. You might be triggered by those, whether it being intrigued or turned off from people that are detached, social, rebellious, but that's also energy that you have within yourself. So that's pretty dope. Do you know what house that's in? If you can tell me what house that's in, that'll tell you where that energy is being directed towards, or where you usually get that energy from. But yeah, I'm loving seeing y'all, Lilith. But yes. I wanted to. This has been such a good conversation.
Yes.
We spoke about Lilith leaving the garden and her being a representation of autonomy, liberation, and freedom, particularly from patriarchy, which is something that we're dealing with now. She could be the daughter of Hecate, which is the goddess of the crossroads, witchcraft. Hecate can also be in alignment with Elegua and things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. Where do you guys see in your in the comments, where do you guys see yourself, I guess, taking control of yourself within those Lilith rooms? And that, Foxy, that's a question for you too. Where do you see yourself taking control over that Scorpio energy that you have?
Me personally, I see myself taking control over it. And I think being more, the Lilith energy for me is more about being in my feminine energy and being okay with it. Like really being okay with everybody not liking it. I think that it's a very strong placement for Lilith. And so I feel like people can see it. And so I think that's what makes me nervous is because of, like you said, you like the attention. Attention makes me nervous. But it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Like my Lilith just be like, fuck it. If they look, give them something to look at. Damn it. Like, give them a little nipple. that's Lilith. Me, I'm like, no. So I think I'm just gonna step more into the energy that and go with the flow of the energy, like of course I'm not gonna do anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, but why being in my sexual energy has been so repulsive, I have no idea. But I'm definitely gonna tap more into that.
You know what? I can empathize with that definitely because that's how it's been the journey with me talking my shit. Like initially when I used to make videos, I used to make live videos telling people like, bro, y'all need to remove yourself from these houses. Like the reason why we're dealing with everything that we're dealing with right now is because we're using their products and their services. The moment you remove yourself from their products and services, the shit that they do no longer affects you. You are no longer their property. But because we want to stay in their houses, we want to keep driving their cars, we want to keep using their currency, we want to keep going to their jobs, we want to keep filling out their forms and putting our signature on their forms. This is what keeps us in this realm. This is what keeps us in these spaces and stuff like that, caring about what they got going on. And I used to be very passionate. Like I would be crying. And I didn't realize because, like, bro, I'm channeling in this, but this is not me speaking because I will go back and look at the videos and be like, I don't fucking talk like this. I'm introverted as, like, right here in this realm, you see me talking and stuff like that. It's like, it's very wishy-washy. I'm very wishy-washy. And I'll tell you something, like, it's a space, it will be times where, like, you can't get a word out of me. I'm very quiet. I don't want to talk to you. I won't even make eye contact because my eyes are so big that if I make eye contact with you, you're going to want to talk to me. And I don't want to talk. Like, it's energy conservation time. I'll like even come out with my head wrap on. I'm about to go buy me a veil because I need all that sometimes on some days. And but then some days I go outside and I'm talking to strangers. Like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I like that. I like what you got on. That's why. Like having full-blown conversations. So I'm very wishy-washy in that realm. But at this period in my life, I literally was not speaking at all. Like I'm not there yet. I'm not comfortable in my walk. I'm not comfortable in these downloads yet. I don't know what's happening to me yet. So when I would go off on the virtual realm, I would be so embarrassed. Like I wouldn't post again for days because I'm embarrassed. Like, bro, I was crying. I was yelling. I was upset. Like I was just going on a tangent. Even when I would perform, especially when I would perform juju music, I didn't realize how much power was in that. I know I was connected to like why, I'm a Virgo stellium. I was born on a Wednesday. I was born at 418, 418, 4 nines. There's 4 nines in my birthday. I know all these things, but I still was not like fully grasping the power in that. So when I would do juju music, I stopped being me. I'm not here no more. There's somebody else now speaking to you when juju music goes off and I'm going off. Hey, I'm sick of this shit. I'm fucking tired. Buy some fucking land. In fact, don't buy that shit. Just settle on it because God brought us here. They didn't bring us here. God brought us here. Stop letting them tell you they brought you on a fucking boat because that's telling them that they have jurisdiction and they fucking don't. God brought us here. And I would just go off, off, off. And then when I get off the stage, I would be so embarrassed. Like, I just want to go hide in the corner, back on my vending table and not speak for the rest of the evening. But I couldn't do that anymore because now I'm in a room full of people that just heard me. They just felt me. I just locked eyes with them and channeled that energy. So now when I get off stage, I have to have conversation because people want to follow up. Like, where can I find you? Yo, I love what you just said and want to talk about it. Da, da, da. So I had to learn how to walk in that power. That definitely was a Lilith, vibe that I had to get alignment with and be okay with. Girl, sometimes your words is going to be on fire. Sometimes you're going to say some shit that's going to break some brains and you have to. And you have to walk in that fire and be okay with that fire still sitting on you after you get done talking. Mm-hmm. And so, even now in this space and time, I still have to learn how to do that, because my last performance I did, I wasn't embarrassed. I was kind of irritated because I felt like the DJ cut me off, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm still kind of in a low vibrational realm. So for me to do all those songs and you cut me off with fucking Soldier Boy, like, bro, fuck you. That's what I wanted to say.
Mhm.
But I had to tell Sagittarius to be quiet, like, bro, we can't do all that. But like you get what I'm saying. Like, that's just
Yeah.
something that I had to just like grow into, definitely.
You have a
Reading the
powerful
comments.
energy. You have a
Thank
powerful
you.
energy. So when you step up and you do like a juju music type of, it's like a spirit is within you, but you're also a manifester. So afterwards, when you step out and speak to people, there's a definite reason why they're standing. They're looking for direction now, manifester. You initiated something by telling them to do all of this. So now they're like, give me some direction. How the hell am I going to do all of this? You stirred what was in them. And it's like it's going to continue to come out of you because you have that, again, that 4-6. You're a role model. So it's like you're a role model to people. People are going to look for you for that. So it's crazy that it comes out so naturally for you. Ain't nothing you have to try to do. It just comes out.
Right. It just comes out. Like, it just comes out when it's something about being on stage, having that mic in my hand. It does something to me that making jewelry doesn't do for me. I love making jewelry, but it's not the same vibe. I make jewelry that I want to wear. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I won't say people don't gravitate to it. They do, but like in my realm, where the kind of people I'm around, it's not for them. It's for the goddesses that's like me. It's for reflections of me. I have a Facebook user up here that says, I've taken a hiatus from dating, relationships, and sex. More power to you, love. It's scarring me up pretty bad. I'm in an intensive evaluation period of my life right now, going on 1.5 years. That's love. I like attention. It doesn't have to be sexual. I don't need sexual attention. It's been a few months since I've had sex. When I intentionally try to do celibacy, it doesn't work, because my mind would be like, oh, you got a challenge. I'm about to challenge you. Like when I was doing
Right, exactly.
When I was doing Ramadan. Now I fast all the time. Don't think twice about it. But because I'm intentionally fasting right now, it's very fucking difficult. Like things like that. But I like attention. So where I won't be sexual with somebody, trust and believe there's somebody in my phone that I'm texting. Somebody that's entertaining me, because I need that energy. I need that energy. And I used to be ashamed of that. Like, I don't know how to be alone. These women are out here being alone for years, but these women are also growing beards and shit, because you're turning into the thing that you're suppressing yourself from. So no, sweetie, I don't want to grow a beard. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. Y'all out here almost on y'all way back to procreating by yourselves, and more power to you.
I ain't trying to do that.
I ain't trying to do that. I don't want to do that. I love the fact that for some people that does bring a power in y'all, but it don't do it for me. Also, my Vesta is in Virgo. So Vesta is the energy, and we're going to get into this. We have a couple more episodes. In one episode, we're going to get into all the asteroids and the comets and stuff. But Vesta is an asteroid, and Vesta is your passion. This is like your inner nun. When you're not engaging in literal sexual activity, this is what you're probably doing instead. And I've noticed that, I love men. I love men. I love y'all. There's not a man I met that I don't love. Some of y'all don't like. Some of y'all can kiss my ass. Some of y'all I can only take in small doses because I can't with the crybaby shit all the time. But I love y'all. So when a man comes into my space, usually men come into my space with their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, and that's what attracts me. I love that. I love to listen to your aspirations. I love to look at the passion in your eyes. I love to hear the passion in your voices. What that does for me is it makes me want to manifest whatever it is. So instead of having sex with you and creating a baby, what I do is I make your aspirations come true. Yes. And that creates like a whole different kind of love and connection here that, would have been way different had we just had sex and had a baby by accident. You know what I'm saying? The Cosmic Nobody's Convention, that was a man coming up to me and sharing his dream with me. And now we have this beautiful award ceremony. A lot of my music, if you guys notice, I don't have a song with another woman yet. All my songs are with men. Um, the men that there's men that engineer my music. I haven't had a woman engineer my music yet. I haven't had a woman instrumental yet. All my stuff is with men. Is this always intentional? Is it like no woman allowed? No. I love bonding with my goddesses. At the same token, it's men that usually come to me with their dreams and their goals and their aspirations to create anew. I would like to say that Danielle was the first person to come to me and say, hey, we need a podcast. She came to me about a year ago about this Virgo Virgin Talk. We've been talking about Virgo Virgin Talk for over a year. And at the same token, Danielle has a lot of masculine energy too. So, she came to me and was talking about like, we're going to have it, we're going to do this. And there's a couple other things that Danielle has spoken into existence that is in the works now. And, it's just that energy. Like, you give me a seed, I'm going to give you a forest. So, even though I may not be sexual or sensual with somebody, in a sense, when I'm manifesting with somebody, that is sensual for me. Mm-hmm. That is. But how is it with you taking a hiatus from your dating, relationships, and sex? And you said that your Lilith was in Scorpio. So yeah, why are you suppressing yourself? What's that about? How is that going for you? I want to hear you talk about it, especially now with Pluto and retrograde and stuff slowing down. Like, how is that going for you? We also have another retrograde coming. Neptune will be in retrograde on Tuesday, and that's when we have our new moon. Our new moon is coming on Tuesday, so that's exciting. So, Lilith sign can make you feel exposed or empowered, depending on how confident and self-directed you are. And when you're uncontrolled, Lilith can also receive your obsessive or destructive tendencies. So that leads to my next question for you, Foxy, as well as you in the comments. What are some of your obsessive or destructive tendencies?
So, a lot of people come to me and they always think that I think it's my Taurus. I have a Taurus rising and a Libra moon, right? So there's some relationship thing that people always think that I'm good at relationships. Like, oh, we love Soulmate Sunday. Mine has to do with relationships. My obsessiveness is, again, I'm a projector. So when I get into someone, I am into that one person. I've been recently myself trying to date multiple people because I realize that that's that sacral energy. You get attracted to it and you don't want to let it go type of thing. But it's not sexual. It's just being around that sacral energy type of thing. So, yes, my obsessiveness could be with when I get into, because even when I was married for like 8 years. Me and my husband barely spent one day apart, and it was just like crazy. It was like a week. I would go for work, and it would be like we come back. It was like, I mean, that's how I got 2 more babies. It was just like, it was like always. And so now I'm learning to be by myself a lot, so that I'm not so obsessive with people. When I do get with somebody, I don't want them to become my whole life. I want to have a life and they have a life, and then we come together and talk about our lives. But I think that was my Lilith obsessiveness, was that when I get attached to someone, I get really attached.
That's a lot. I can empathize with that. My Pluto's in Scorpio, and I believe it's in my 3rd house in those one-on-one relationships. And that's that Gemini twin clingy vibe.
And Pisces.
And yes, I do have a tendency. I can be obsessive in relationships. It's not, and I track my reflection. So it's not like I'm attracting other individuals that just don't want what I want. However, I like experiences. I want to experience things. If I'm not experiencing things with you, I'm bored. I don't want to be bored. So I'm not one of those kind of people where they'll be like, oh, me and my grandparents, we've been together through all the ups and downs. I did that already. I did that for 9 years. So, I've been separated from that relationship for about 3 years now. These last 3 years of my life, No, I'm not here for the ups and downs. If I get bored, I'm out. The one thing I can say about that 9-year relationship I was in, I was never bored. I was never bored, which is why this feeling that I feel now in these men that I've met these last 3 years have been so like weird to me, because it's not that I compare everything to my son's dad. I've grown out of that. And within the first year of us dating, I mean, within the first year of our separation, we're actually good friends now. No, I don't want to get back together with him. We get along so much better right now. And I love the fact that he's someone else's headache. So, I just get the good parts now. And I used to say that when we were together, like in my diary to myself and the music and the poems I wrote, like, bro, I want to be your side chick. I don't want to be your main chick no more. I want to be the side chick because I feel like they get the best parts of you while I'm the one that's stuck in the house, washing your clothes, making you cough medicine, feeding you, listening to all the drama and putting up with all the drama. I feel like I get treated the worst while everybody else just
Mm,
gets the fun parts of you, and I get the
right.
mommy parts, and I didn't like that. That was the worst part. But now we're not together. I get the fun parts now. I get the fun parts.
See?
And I still get the mommy part sometimes. Like, when he got into his car accident, who was the first person he called? I'm in a car accident. What do I do? Where's the paperwork? Like, bro, we've been apart for like 2 years. Where's your paperwork? Like shit like that. Like I still get calls because technically we were pretty much married. So like, it's still those like I know I'll call Nika. Um, but I'm not washing drawers, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning. So I get the fun parts. And so it's like, it's not that I don't expect strife and work in my relationships. It's just I just don't want to be bored. And I can
Mm,
get obsessive and destructive with that. If I get bored, I might destroy this. I might clear the board. And I did that. It was a relationship where this brother, I won't say he was gaslighting me because I really don't feel like it was intentional. He just was not good at finishing the things that he started. And because he wasn't doing that with his own shit, he kept doing that with shit that I was trying to create with him. Because, like I told you, I love to manifest. You give me a seed, I'm gonna build you a forest. So this man would come to me with all these dreams and goals and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I would, do all the research and da da da, and I'm just waiting for him to meet me halfway at least with his energy. This man would pick up the phone, scroll for 2 seconds, and be like, okay, I can't look anymore, or I'm gonna go take a nap, or da da da, and that turned me off. And it got to the
mm,
point where that's all I could see. All I could see was the unfinished shit, all the experiences that I created for us. You didn't even put energy towards. You just show the fuck up. And that's not good enough for me. So I got bored. And no, I don't want to work through this. No, I don't want to communicate. No, I don't want to tell you what's wrong with me so you can give me all the reasons why I should overlook it and be more realistic and blah 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 blah. No, thank you. I'm out. and and that's really like, I don't know if that's destructive per se. I don't know if I'm blocking my blessings. To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. And that's probably the Sagittarius energy. I don't give a fuck because, I want what I want. This is my life. I can be obsessive in relationships. Like I was talking about yesterday, like, bro, like, once I find my person and we're public, get sick of me. You're going to get sick of me because we're doing music together, we're doing content
yes.
together, we're doing this, that, and the third. And I just want to attract the person that
It's
feeds
cool with
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
No,
it.
I feel you. Like when I saw that, I really liked that post because that's what you want. You want that person that's on the same accord. Like, okay, yeah, I'm obsessed with them, but they're obsessed with me too. Like we on the same. It's not even about being obsessed. It's like we need to be creating together. We need to be building together. We need to be making, and this is the whole. I think I jumped into relationships or getting married so much was because I wanted to build a foundation with one person. So I had all these memories with this one person. We did
Mhm.
this, we did this, we did this. But I realized I was picking the wrong fucking people to try to build. And I already had all. And what was crazy was that I had the house, the fucking everything. All I asked him to do was help me put it together. And motherfuckers couldn't even put that shit together. So I realized I was picking the wrong people based on the rush to want to have that instead of just saying, and I
Mhm.
saw that too. It's like we go from, relationships or situationships because we trying to fill this void instead of just waiting it out for that one person that's going to actually fill that need. And it's not that people always say you can fill it yourself. It's not true. We are here with other people for a reason. Some of us are not. Like I have a Libra moon. I need a partner. My scale is like this when I'm by myself. It's just like all fucked up. I just need somebody right there. And I don't need you to do much. This is the thing. I've never required much of my partner. I need you to, for one, have motivation and have some dreams. You don't even have to come with $10,000. We can get that together if you got that part together. Secondly, you got to be able to support me, and I need loyalty. I don't need no bullshit. I don't need to be worrying. I need to go to sleep and close my eyes and wake up the next day, and I have to feel like I'm doing this all the time. That was always my issue. It was like, motherfucker will meet you and you be the best thing since sliced bread. The minute that you start to let your guard down is when that person starts doing wild shit, and he's like, damn, I'm trying to build a fucking house with you.
I just posted you on my Facebook, stupid. Now I gotta delete it.
Exactly. The minute you do it is when they start acting up. That's why I'm like, nope. Even my husband, people didn't know I was married for years. And they was like, why we don't know you married? Because this motherfucker might start acting up the minute I say that I'm married. So let me not. And the minute I did, that's when he started acting up. I'm not lying. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. So yeah, we have to have partners. We have to require from our partners to bring to the table necessarily what we need. Everybody needs something different from their partner. They require something different. Me personally, I just want somebody who got my motherfucking back, because everything else, I can do all of this shit, but I cannot be worrying about no dude doing all this other shit, because that's your energy being spread out all these different places, and I can feel that. I'm not a fake bitch that cannot feel it. I can feel, and especially if we connected on a sexual level, ever, I can still feel you to this day. Who you fucking with? You probably fucking with this. I can still feel it.
Yeah. You know what? That's so true. I can still feel like major people in my life. Like I knew when the guy that I stopped talking, I knew when he started to sleep. I knew the moment he slept with somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
I knew the moment. I felt it.
Yep.
It didn't bother me.
No, but it's like, it. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, just what, like when, yes, we know. And that's the thing, is like trusting your own knowing, and then being with somebody, you ain't got to worry about that. You don't even because when it's a gut feeling, and then when it's just fear, right? When it's a real gut feeling, and it's like, you're just worried about something. No, my gut, and it's always a motherfucker to tell you don't trust your gut that's doing the shit, because they don't want you knowing what they like. Don't trust that. Right. Like, girl, you tripping. That's fear. No, it's not. I've been trusting this shit. I done made it 40 years trusting this here. Don't tell me that's fear. That ain't fear. That's me. That's something telling me your ass ain't right, and you don't want me to tap into that. That's what it is.
And my spirit guys don't play, because even I'm an overthinker, and sometimes I try to think myself out of my thoughts. My spirit guys be like, all right, let me show you something in the physical, since you want to be hard-headed. A text message will pop up, a post will pop up. And then sometimes, because I deal with liars, and they lie to the grave. They don't. So the universe always makes shit pop up in front of both of us at the same time. So now it's like, okay, defend that right now. Go ahead, defend it. I want to hear you.
Let me tell you something, sis. I'm going to tell you 2 situations that happened. This is how I know the universe don't play about me. One, actually, I'll tell you about the 2. It happened so many times. It's crazy, because it's voice. It's not even something. It will tell me. So when I was my first child's father, I was in my 20s. He was out of town. It was an hour before he came home. I'm excited. He was gone with his family. I hadn't seen him in like a couple of days, and we lived together and everything. So he's coming home. I'm excited. I'm like, yay. Right. And then Spirit said, stand on your counter. I said, no. I was like, what the fuck was that thought? It was like, get on your counter. I'm not standing on my kitchen counter. And it wouldn't stop saying it. I kept hearing, stand on your. So I get on my kitchen counter. I'm like, what? And it's like, reach above the cabinet. So I'm like, girl, there was a stack, because I was not, again, my suppression was porn. I hated porn. I hated anything about porn. And when we moved in together, I knew he had porn at his mom's house, but I was like, when you live with me, we don't have none of that shit here. He was hiding it on in the cabinetry. Because I used to go out of town, because that was my job, was to go out of town when storms happen and then come back or whatever. So of course he probably had a good old stack. It was an hour before he came, but Spirit wanted me to know this. Okay. Then I was dating a guy not too long ago, like maybe 6-8 months ago, who actually was staying in my home and was using a phone that I allowed him to borrow, because his phone broke. Like, so he needed to temporarily use a phone, right? Well, somehow Spirit said, no, fuck that shit. We're going to keep this shit linked. He's gone. I just pick up the phone. It's my phone, right? He's gone. He's at work. The phone is on your Facebook and it's in your messages. And it's there. It's open for me to see it. There's nothing you can deny. There's nothing. But spirit will show me shit. And it's happened so many times. Like, but it will tell me. It will just say, look at this. I'd be like, why am I looking at this? One time I walked past one of the bags and it said, look in there. And I don't look in people's shit. And I was like, I don't want to. It was like, look in there. Like, it's something you need to see. Because you're going to keep walking past this. And I'm getting tired of you walking past it. And I went in there and I saw shit I wasn't supposed to see. And I'm like, what the fuck? But it's like, you're not stupid. It's like, I need you. You're blind because you're trying to build.
You
this
want to be
empire.
blind.
Yeah, you want to be because you're trying to, you just want to keep going. And now I'm going to physically tell you to look at something. Like, to the point where I frighten you with your own voice in your head to make you go and look at it. That's how real spirit is about me. It don't play. And when spirit tell me to do something, I do it. So a lot of times, a lot of people, I'm single probably because a lot of people know that energy I can read it easily. So you can't really lie to me. If you're in my presence, my daughter will try to come in my room and lie to me. And I'll just be like, listen, I can feel it already. This lie you about to come. And she'd be like, damn, Mom, I can feel it, sis. Don't come in here with that. What do you want? Be honest with me. And then she's about to be 18. That's how I talk to her too.
I agree. My baby at the door, like, what you do? What you want? Oh, right. Mm-hmm. You better go back out my door.
They scared.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I wanted to be Eve so bad. Just let him do what he wants. Let him cheat, girl. You know, you the one he chose. You know, he's still laying with you. He still come home with you, though. Like, I wanted to be Eve so bad, bro. But Lilith was like, fuck that shit. What you're not going to do with this energy is keep settling for that shit. I got something better for you, but you're going to have to endure some of these experiences first. But I got something for that ass. Go on and eat this apple and go on about your business. Like, you're right. I got to get up out this garden. This ain't for me. This ain't for me. I'm not an Eve. It creates a hell inside of my mind to be an Eve. It just won't.
It does.
I'm gonna read this comment right here. I used to love sex a lot and only wanted it in serious relationships. I'm extremely passionate about my partnerships. I'm a Gemini sun, but my Cancer, those Gemini suns, we have fun together. But a Cancer Mercury and a Venus and Scorpio moon. So I'm water dominant in the most sensitive areas. Everything about me is intense. Now I totally reject sex and intimacy because of at the age of 41, I've had so many painful experiences that I'm just not interested in doing it anymore until I can fix me. Transformation is a major theme in this life for me. That's awesome and that's beautiful. And with Pluto sitting in Capricorn and the 6th house in retrograde right now, going and it's a good time to do that transformation in your infrastructure and to let it apply to your everyday life. So yeah, you're definitely, and you've been doing this for a year and a half. Yeah, you're definitely in alignment. You're good. I say keep doing that. Just be mindful of when you're creating transformation and when you're actually suppressing yourself because when you know.
Yes. I feel her with
that passion, baby.
Yeah, that's serious. That was my thing too. I always I was a virgin again until I was like 18 years old. There was a lot of sexual suppression about me. And so then when I turned 20, is when I got with my daughter's father and we were together for 9 years. I can count my sexual partners probably on one hand because I was with people for so long. And because that's what I wanted. I just wanted to build. I was with wrong people for so long. And it was the fear of being with multiple people and my thing is not having a story where I can sit down and say, remember when we did all of this together. I always wanted just to have one person that I did every fucking thing with versus being able to, every time I go to a story, I got a different person in my head, like that was my fear of always. And then at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter as long as I'm in the story, like I don't give a fuck who else I experienced it with. At the end of the day, I can say, I remember when I went this and I did this versus remember when and that's okay. It's okay not to have somebody that you're always like, I'm at 41. It's not going to be consistent. Now, if I meet somebody, all my old stories are still going to have somebody else in them, but I'm not going to give that story that way. That story is going to be about me and not the person that I was with. And that's why I learned, be able to go. Some people can't go to places that they were with someone else with Me, I'm all
Mhm.
about making a new narrative. Like, okay, yeah, I went here with you, but if I'm not with you no more, I'm not even thinking about you in this. It's a new storyline. Now, every time I
Right.
think about you, I think about the last time I went here with you. I'm not gonna think about that last person. So I want to rewrite the story. Yeah.
I like that. That's a new way to think of things too, because that's definitely what I wanted. I wanted to be with somebody for decades, upon decades, and talk about all the phases we shared together and how we grew out of this and grew up out of that and things like that. I really wanted that bad. But it just wasn't in my car. It was the price I had to pay to have that was too big. It was too
Yes.
big, and I wasn't willing to pay that price. I wasn't willing to deal with that because it wasn't fair to me to deal with. And and it was also like it was a life I wanted my kids to have. Like, you know, I will say that I have not been in that many serious relationships. I was in my 9-year relationship and I was in a 5-year relationship before that. And then before that was like high school boyfriends, whatever. Actually, the high school boyfriend still called me and texted me too, like, "Oh, you remember
But just
me? Like,
put
I
that
still love you."
together. 9 and 5. That's 14 years of your life. You were in a serious relationship and you're
Mhm.
31.
And I'm
So that's half
31.
of your life. You've been in a serious relationship.
I've been a mom for 16 years.
Mhm.
I've
Wow.
been a mom for 16 years. And what happens is like the space in between my relationships be short, but my sacral chakra be and so I do have a lot of sexual partners. I used to be ashamed to say that, but I am not. Like I said, I love experiences. Like when I first broke up out of this 9-year relationship, oh, I was everywhere. Oh, you cute, you cute, you cute. Oh, like I had a lot of one night stands. I had a lot of individuals that were trying to make one night stands, a couple night stands, and I would just block them and ignore them. Like it was really just like my sacral chakra was just over everywhere. Like, bro, you've been suppressing me for 9 years. It's time for me
Right.
to come out. But now I'm chill. You know, I'm chilling. I have a better grip on myself and who I am. I'm tapping into my Lilith, realizing that I do love experiences, and it doesn't have to be with a bunch of people because I really don't like giving my energy to a bunch of people.
Right.
I will say when Venus was in Aries, I was out here like maybe I should be polygamous. I love it. But now that Venus has slowed down a little bit, it's like, dang, I just want to leave with that one person. I just want to pillow talk with that one person. Granted, I still love attention. I still love, manifesting with this person and manifesting with that person. And I don't want to give that up, but I don't have to be sensual, sexual with everybody that comes my way. I really just want that one. And just let him know that when he meet me, he better have some fire in that chart, baby, because I'm a whole big thing. I'm a very big energy. My children are very big energies. They're very
Yes.
respectful, though. I don't know where they get it from. But, it's some big energies over here. We a pack of lions. My oldest is a Leo sun, Leo moon, Aries rising. My youngest is a Taurus sun, Leo moon, Aquarius rising. I mean, no, Taurus sun, Aquarius moon, Leo rising. And I'm a Leo rising.
I got a lot of
So
fire
it's a
over
pack of lions over here. You dealing with
Yes.
some big energy, baby.
I got an Aquarius, uh, a Leo, and a Sagittarius, and I'm a Pisces.
Mm,
These are our sun signs. You know, I got a lot of different energies, but it's crazy. They all different aspects of me. Because again, as a Pisces, I encompass all 12 signs. So I can see
mhm,
myself in all three of them, but they're like me on drugs, on steroids. Like one part of me on steroids, another part of me on steroids. And it's like, damn, that's me. I guess I gotta
mhm.
accept it. But yeah, you gotta, um the mo- I'm more all for like whatever makes you happy. Cause I realize again, I know I've lived a life. I probably was a stripper. I probably was a porn star. I probably was a whore. I probably killed somebody. I probably did all kinds of things because
Oh, I know
there's
what kills some
not
people.
much that people can tell me that I get shocked about or that they do. I'm just like, okay, well, at some point we all do something. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This life, I've been a fucking nun. Like there's just I've just been very prudent, but I'm never judgmental of those who are not as much as like again, when I would see people in skimpy clothes, I'd be like, I would feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't judge them necessarily, but it made me uncomfortable because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. It wasn't like she's a whore. It was more like don't know why people want to dress like that. But inside, it was really like, I want to dress like that, but I don't feel comfortable dressing like that. So, but as far as like when people say, I think everybody's different and everything is going to work differently. But again, being in those long ass relationships, like this last time, it makes me want to be like, maybe I'm doing this shit all wrong. Maybe I should be doubting like multiple people. Maybe I should be pulling sacral energy from different people so I won't become so obsessive with one person and not necessarily sexual. Like you said, you like to create with other people and manifest. I realize that's what we do when we get, again, in human design, when you get close to somebody who's got these other things, you guys add to each other and everybody's different. So you can add something to this person, then you go add something to this person, and then you're not bored because variety is the spice of life. And it's not all about sexual. You know, I can have one sexual partner and have multiple people that I'm creating with. That keeps me going and that keeps me excited, and then it keeps me wanting to go back to my partner because it's like I'm excited about all the things that I'm creating outside of this, you know, and we have something to talk about and do.
Right. That's honestly where I'm at. That's honestly where I'm at. Like, you know, I only need to pillow talk with one of them, but the rest of them, like, you know, let's build businesses, not babies.
Yes. And it's really hard when it comes to, like, I know men that I've known for years that I can be like that with, but when I meet new dudes, they always want what they want. You know, it's like, I want to date you, I want to be with you, but it's like, okay, I'm not really in that space, but I do like this about you, and I do like this. And a lot of times, like, some will stick around. I have male friends that stick around, but some of them, they just want what they want. And it's just like, I'm not in that, like right now in my life, I'm not in a space to be with anybody, because I'm trying to make sure I'm the best person for that person. And I'm not there yet. I know I'm not there yet because I know me. And once I get there, then I'll be open. And so it's like when I'm meeting people who are great in the meantime, if they stick around, they may be that person. But if you don't stick around, you'll never know. So you could either be my friend or check back with me in a couple when I'm ready. And I don't know when that's going to be. But I know when I get to that point, like I want to open myself up when I know I'm ready. And again, I've been hurt so much that I know I'll be bleeding all over somebody right now.
Yeah, I already did my bleeding on other people. And it was funny because somebody recently posted a status and was like, you know, the hardest thing to do is to date a woman who just got out of a traumatic relationship. And I was like, you're right. More power to you. And I hope you heal, because that Venus is in Pleiades right now. And that's dealing with the wounds. And I saw a lot of men come out and be open and vocal about their wounds, about dating single mothers and dealing with the trauma that those single mothers, having to sit with them. And I even talked to a brother. I'm like, I feel like you're dating the people you're supposed to be healing. You're doing some Jada Pinkett shit right here. And not everybody that you walk into their space to heal, you're supposed to date. And I learned that too. Like, not everybody I build with, I'm supposed to be like having sex with. Because it wasn't like a thing in my head, but it was a thing in my head. Like, oh, okay, he's dope. I wonder what that sex be like.
Because the creative energy makes you think about, because sexual energy is creative energy.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody who can dance. I'd be like, damn, hey, you can fuck. Like in your
right.
mind. You know, you say it in your head. Y'all stop faking like y'all don't say it. I know y'all say it because I say it.
We be saying
like, oh, you can move like that, huh?
I wonder what you like in bed. I'm curious.
Exactly.
And that's what it really be. It'd be curiosity. It's not always like, ooh, I want you and I want to be with you forever and we can have sex again. It'd be curiosity. Like, bro, you look good. I seen them sweatpants. I wonder what you can do with it. It really just be that. It just be satisfying my curiosity and going about my business after that. But like, I seen like with Venus being near Pleiades, a lot of these men out here are dealing with their wounds. See, us women, we deal with our wounds a little different. We don't cry as much as these men do. And there's nothing wrong with them crying. I actually love the fact that they're crying now, because y'all wouldn't do shit but just be mean all the time. So go on and cry. Like, I'd rather listen to y'all cry than hear all that mean, disrespectful shit y'all got to say about women and grouping us all together, because that don't make sense. You got to understand, when you walk into a certain phase of somebody's life, that don't make them a bad person. You just walked in on a bad moment, baby. And I'm pretty sure you help that person heal, and they probably sing your praises or they give you curses. It depends on how you provided the healing. You could either be Pluto or you could be Venus. It's up to you.
Yes.
But like, you can't hold a grudge in your heart. And I was telling my brother, I was like, bro, like you probably keep dating people you're just supposed to heal with. Maybe you are the one that single mothers need to come to and be like, maybe you need to create an organization for single mothers and have them have like a safe space for them to come to and have their children. Because this individual also shared something about y'all always want a babysitter, but don't trust nobody with your kids. Maybe you create it's something about your energy that creates that safe space for moms. So maybe instead of sleeping with them, trying to make them your woman, maybe you need to just heal that group of women and fine tune your sexual sensual energy so that you can find a woman that actually has her shit together instead of bringing it, because I used to do that too. Like, I'm a Virgo stellium. I love being around men in need. Like, you need something, oh, here I come. You manifested them like a fucking genie. Like, I love healing men. I love listening to their sadness, and I love holding them like little babies. Like, I love that shit. I low-key love that shit. Now, do I like that all the time, like in a relationship? No, I don't. After a while, I'm turned off. I'm tired of hearing about your fucking sadness. Like, all right, bro, I'm good off this now. So I had to learn, sis, you can't be dating niggas you're supposed to be healing. That's your problem. Right. You walk into a man's life, you see he obviously needs healing, and you're choosing to heal him with your vagina. Stop it. So it's good. Yeah, I had to learn how to compartmentalize people. Not everybody for the Virgo virgin vagina. Some people for, just manifesting, letting their dreams go. Some people just need to vent to me. Some people need to just do this, that, and the third. Just how I was compartmentalizing people for my needs, I need to compartmentalize what I'm able to provide them for their needs. Like, you can't have all of me. And I just, with some of you guys that were so tapped into this Taurus Venus energy this past week, because it was a lot of love energy going on around here. I just want y'all to be very, very intentional with the energy you're pushing away and the energy you're choosing to attract. Because some of you guys need to learn how to compartmentalize relationships. A lot of you guys are saying that you want polygamy, but you don't fully understand what polygamy is. You're utilizing that word very irresponsibly because you really don't want to meet a polygamous woman. You're not ready for a polygamous woman. You don't want that. You really want a monogamous woman, and you want that monogamous woman to be so comfortable with herself that you're allowed to have female friends. Because I even read a status that a man said, I want to be polygamous. I should be able to go hang out with this girl and this girl and this girl, go out to lunch and dinner and be cool. And I'm like, well, are you having sex with all those women? No, that's not polygamy, baby. You don't want a polygamous relationship. You're going to attract that polygamous relationship. And in a month or two, you're going to be talking about how bitches ain't shit. I'm telling you, that ain't what you're really trying to manifest. You want a confident, comfortable woman that's okay with you having female friends. Now, if you have intentions on being sexual with all these women, now you want a polygamous woman. And I'm going to warn you right now, be careful what you ask for, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Goose gander.
Goose gander. You want an Eve. You don't want a polygamous Lilith. You want a submissive Eve.
It's going to go both ways.
You hear me? If you want polygamy, you're definitely going to attract some Lilith energy. You're not going to attract the Eve. And if you do attract the Eve, you're going to be bored as shit. And you're just going to be disrespecting her and traumatizing her. And let me tell you, the karma from that baby is going to hurt, because you're going to attract the Lilith one day. And she's going to hurt your soul because of what you're doing to that Eve. Now, don't get it twisted. These Eves out here, they submissive, they pick me, they all this shit. But trust and believe, these Liliths, we don't play about our Eves. Our Eves is like our little baby lambs, okay?
Sisters, our baby sisters.
They are baby sisters.
They don't know. They don't have the knowledge we have. So we know that. And when we see them, like, that's why when I see people again doing things, it's like, I don't judge you. I know I did that probably before. I'm grown now. I know better. But that's those Eves. We that snake in the garden, sister. Don't do it. Eat this apple. Open your eyes.
Eat this apple. So, we don't play about our Eves, baby. So y'all go ahead and play them games on our Eves if y'all want to. Going on to monogamous grounds, trying to play polygamy. A Lilith's going to pop up on you and bite that ass. We don't play about our baby sisters. So please be very intentional with what you ask for. Make sure you asking for what you want and not what you about to take advantage of and disrespect.
Now that is You need to put that on a damn t-shirt. You need to put that on the back of a bumper. You need to put that every goddamn where right there. That right there. Yes, yes.
Because we
People don't
ain't
realize
playing
that
with
they
y'all.
ask for something and then they get it and they fucking disrespect it. And what do you think the karma is from for asking for something, receiving it, and then treating it like shit? What do you think the karma is from that?
Most men that have karma in their lives don't even add things up to being karma. Most humans, period, especially when it comes to this matrix that we live in. The karma of this matrix that we live in is the financial struggle. They intentionally set up the numbers a certain kind of way so that you're never free. If you want to be in this matrix, you're going to keep enduring that. That's why my man said slavery is a choice. He wasn't lying. It is a choice. Now, the moment you decide to walk out of that, you're going to be giving up a lot of things that you've created in your regular life, but you're also giving up that karma. Another personal example, when my son's dad, when he used to cheat. Okay, I'm not going to tell that. That's too personal. You're right. But I'm going to tell this part. When he used to cheat, he had another woman before he had me. They were together for 9 years. This man loves his nines. He just don't realize it yet. And he was with her for 9 years. She was also a Virgo. And when he would get caught, and sometimes I wouldn't say nothing, he would get a child support letter in the mail. Your child support is about to increase, or this goddess is about to take you to court again. And he'd be in there crying, head in his hands. Why she won't let me see my daughter? Why is she raising my da-da-da? Stop fucking with me. Because at that point in time, I was still an Eve. And I'm going to tip my hat off. His baby mom was already a Lilith. And so and she didn't even know it. She didn't even know it. She didn't even know what she was doing for me. Every time that man did me wrong, she did some bullshit. Every time that man did me wrong. She'd ignore his phone calls. She'd do some little petty stuff. She in his pocket. She'd pull up with the baby and pull off. She always did some nut shit when he did some nut shit to me. So, don't play about these. Don't play.
No, because
and learn how to
energy
add.
recognizes energy. So the energy is like, oh, okay, and it's going to send in other energy. That woman don't even know that she's doing that for you, but she's doing it for you. Energy recognizes other energy. So feminine energy is like, oh, I'm being played here. Send in the dark. Send in Kali Ma, please. Yes. Too much niceness over here. We need to take some heads off, please. Yes.
Yep.
Here she is. Bring her in. Here she comes. And then all the blood is in the little thing, and there you go. And now she's a demon. But no, that's your karmic. See, you have to get karma for the bullshit you do. So you're gonna get you a karmic. And that woman, she gonna keep going. And people think that sometimes, the karma you may not see come back on somebody. You may be like, damn, they did them dirty. But they were actually used as karma for somebody else. Period.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that like you were used for that karma. It ain't gonna come back on you because that was what your role was. And sometimes, and again, it's a lot more women in this world than there are men. There are a lot more women here. There's a reason, because there is both genes. You got a masculine energy, but you got a Eve gene, Lilith gene type, right? You got two different types of women. So of course it's gonna be more. But they're all, at the end of the day, like I had a friend tell me, when I said, well, you compare apples to oranges. He said, but it's all fruit. At the end of the day, you may look at a Eve or a Lilith, don't matter. She's still a woman. And a woman's going to always, the energy is going to always gravitate towards the other woman. Even when women are angry at other women or don't like other women, there's some hurt buried down in there. Some woman hurt them somewhere else, because women are naturally sisterly.
Mm-hmm.
We normally gravitate towards other women to back them up and stuff. It's not natural when look at lioness. They roll together. They got one lion, but it's a whole bunch of lioness. They're able to do that. But men, they can't. You got one lion, my nigga, one in this pack.
Mm-hmm.
Come over here, we fighting. This mine. So I get that. Yeah.
Tap into your Ceres in your natal chart. When you tap into your Ceres in your natal chart, you tap into your feminine wounds. Who hurt you? What goddess hurt you? And thank you so much for tapping in with us, Mills Young. I'm glad that you feel comfortable in this space. Thank you. And thank you so much for bringing him melody. But yes, we're going to close out. I enjoyed this talk with you, Foxy. Yes. I'm so sorry we couldn't bring Danielle on, but we got a few episodes left. Hopefully you can come back for one of them.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you guys for tapping tapping in. Remember, we're here every Saturday at 11:11. Y'all can catch my planetary forecast every Monday at 3:33. The Elite Motivation EM Healing podcast is every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Our next episode will be July 13th. If you guys want to be a part of that eclectic, Foxy Roxy, let them know where we could find you. What else you got in store for us? What you got coming up?
So you can find me at Pronoia Star C Podcast on Facebook. Again, it's Pronoia Star C Podcast. I'm on a lot. I'm just telling you guys, I'm on all the time. You can also catch me at Pronoia Star C Podcast on Instagram. Again, this is a live podcast I do on Facebook. It's going to be expanding over to YouTube. I'm just trying to get my page together. And then also I have an all audio podcast that's coming out called Down the Foxhole, which gives you a background on where I get all my spirituality from. And then we have Pronoia After Dark that happens at around 1 o'clock to 3:33 a.m. where we talk about divine sexual energy. And I actually have a guest that's coming up. I don't know if you heard of Red Pill, Blue Pill, and all of those good fellows that do the conscious information. She's been with Red Pill and Blue Pill, and them. They do a lot about this sexual energy. She's going to be a guest on our show on the next Pronoia After Dark. So we do Pronoia After Dark every other month, and it's like a 1:11 a.m. It's after dark, so no kids allowed because we're gonna be talking about sexual energy. So yeah, we got a lot going on over there at Pronoia Star C. So tap in.
Yes. When's that next one? The After Dark joint. I didn't even know you do that. I don't be sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, I will tap you in. It's gonna be in mid-July. I'm waiting for her to send me the date she's available. She just sent me a message like, I'm ready, sis. So it'll be mid-July. I'll send it out, and it's gonna probably be at 1:11 a.m.
Okay, awesome. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to tap in. Yes, y'all tap in with the goddess. She be doing readings. She's very generous with her energy. The insight is amazing. And y'all could be a guest on her show just as much as y'all could be a guest here on Virgo Virgin Talk. Just reach out. It doesn't hurt to reach out and dialogue. You don't have to be at a certain space and place in your life over here on Virgo Virgin Talk. We are here for all levels, from preschool to Head Start to college, wherever you're at. We're here for you, and we want to dialogue with you because the point is for us to enlighten one another. And your experience is not, small just because you don't know what I know. You might know some shit I don't know.
Right.
All right. So we gonna head on out with some more sounds, a couple of little infomercials here. If you guys want your video played during Virgo Virgin Talk, go on and message it to us and we'll play your video during our episodes. And that's what I have for y'all. Peace, y'all. Here we go with this mouth shit again.
Peace and grace. Thank you for shining and rising. Chakra DJ here to tell you of a summer fun gathering known as High Soul Gathering. It begins the final Friday of May and continues each month until August. It's held in the beautiful green sceneries of Tabernacle, New Jersey. It's a 3-day camping experience which includes workshops, fun activities, vendors, and of course, the high vibrational blends of Chakra DJ. You can either stay the full weekend or spend the day with us. We promote self-care and common unity. It's a unique experience for you and the family. Tickets and information are available on Eventbrite under High Soul, Summer 2022. Look us up.
I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and gaze, your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways that so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I don't know what's up with this world. With these men that act like boys, boys that wanna be girls, girls that wanna be boys, and women that act like girls. What's wrong with ya? No, I can't get along with ya. this song for ya. I hope my prayers make it to the good Lord for ya. Cause you know I break the law for ya. Yeah, you know I risk it all for ya. But can't get the thing after everything that I offered ya. Guess I must be offered to ya. That's what them demons say when they be talking to ya. Guess that's why I can't get a ring and you won't answer me no more calling ya.
I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and gas. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways that so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave. Cause I will be here waiting.
I am like something you never had before. When those to this, you'll be back for more. That's for sure. What you laughing for? The last thing I'm finna be is the last resort. I'm so not with the back and forth. I jump straight to conclusions and I'm out the door. Drop these ends, get you a real one. You always stay in touch with who ain't feeling ya. I don't even know why you deal with them. Cause you ain't getting back what you're giving them. I hate to burst your bubble, it's full of helium. But it ain't healing ya. You never really broke my heart. You just hurt my feelings. And what I learned from this is if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Said if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Shh. I'm done calling you. I'm done calling you. Cause you won't pick it up. Cause deep don't give up. I'm so sick, I'm done. I'm so sick, I'm done. I'm done calling you. I'm done calling you. You just pay kissy face. You just pay kissy face. Selfish bird telling me to find a way.